Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Minnesota RØKKR co-stream here to watch the RØKKR match. I am Ashley, aka MiDNiTE. Today, I am joined by Brett Blakemore. Brett, over from KFAN, host of the RØKKR Talker podcast. If you guys don't listen to that podcast yet, you should. So insightful, so many great interviews. Brett, how are you? And thanks for joining me today.
I'm doing really good. I'd be lying if I say I'm not a little nervous. That 3-0 from Optic is gonna be tough to follow.
Yes.
And this is a revenge game for Dallas, so I'm sure they didn't forget what happened last time we upset Dallas as well. So nervous, but also cautiously optimistic as well for today. So I'm excited.
I feel the same way. I'm a bundle of nerves. My knees are bouncing beneath my desk. I'm just like, oh man, because a week ago, this match was terrifying to see on paper. But after that performance by the squad on Thursday versus Optic Chicago, Standy coming out, I was trying to think, I was racking my brain, and then I even saw some follow-up statistics from the likes of Breakpoint, GG and everything, and I don't think I've ever seen that impressive of a debut. Standy made his CDL debut, pro debut versus Optic Chicago, had a 1.52 KD, was slicing him up, cutting off the map he's a pro now. I mean, how else do you say it? So yeah, after seeing that on Thursday, it's like, well, sheesh, maybe we could take Dallas, right?
Well, going into that Optic match, it was like there wasn't we just wanted to see improvement, right? We just wanted to see that the roster move was doing what we wanted it to do. And now there's expectations. Now it's like, okay, now we know that we can compete with this new roster. We know that Standy's a pro. Is lightning going to strike twice again?
Yeah, it's curious because you brought up a good point. We were looking to see improvement on Thursday, and even I said it in the co-stream then, even if we didn't pull the dub, we're not favored to win that Optic Chicago match. But even if we just saw some marks of improvement, hey, that's better than where we were last week, because I would say last week was a pretty low for us, going down 0-3 to Paris, 0-3 to Florida. Tough scenes, but to bounce back that way and to 3-0 Optic Chicago, just, I don't know, couldn't be happier for the guys. But now it's not only about, okay, they improved, obviously, that's an improvement, but now can they replicate that? How consistently can they play at that level? Is this a flash in the pan, or is this the new kind of baseline for Minnesota RØKKR? We're going to find out, and it's a tough day to try to find that out when you're going against the reigning world champs in Dallas Empire. I guess I would love to get your opinion, because you follow, I know you watch all the RØKKR matches. Do you watch a lot of the other CDL matches as well, Brett?
I try. I try to peek in every now and then. I can't say that I'm locked in and watching I watched that Seattle beatdown that just happened, and that's scary.
That is scary.
That Paris team just 3-0'd our previous, iteration of our roster, and then that Seattle team just looked. Donis Gunless was running a 40 or 74 on the control. Weird things are happening. That team looks scary. But yeah, I peek in. I saw the assassination from yesterday during the phase match. That was fun. But I can't say that I'm totally locked in on every single one. But I'm watching. I'm around. I'm lurking.
Yeah. So this last week was kind of crazy, so I wasn't able to tune in as much as I wanted to, other than obviously the masterful 3-0 from the end of Standy. Just so hyped for Standy. Yeah. Standy's going to be on the podcast next week. We'll get him. Well, one day we'll get him on the RØKKR Talker podcast. That's for sure.
I was just about to say who's going to get him first, and the organization gets him first.
Yeah, I slid in the DMs real quick, and I said, hey, live Tuesday night, are you down? And I'm sure he'd be down to talk to you as well, because one of the things he actually shared with me in DMs was hey, I used to watch you when I was younger. It's kind of crazy, and I'd love to do content. That's one thing that's always really refreshing about these rookie guys is they haven't been able to get annoyed with me yet, because I asked the guys to do a lot of content, but he comes in here all, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to go. But no, all the guys are really good about doing content, but he's especially excited because he's I want to build my brand, I want to do my thing, and so he's down to do stuff. So I'm really excited about that. But kind of the point I was going to make was Dallas Empire. Obviously, we were able to beat them in stage 1. Very cool. Obviously, weren't able to replicate that success against other opponents, but I do think that Dallas Empire hasn't looked like the Dallas Empire we kind of all expected, right? You see Atlanta FaZe, for example, this year. I mean, geez, there's no ending in sight. Who's stopping that freight train or FaZe train? Nobody.
They're head and
But
shoulders above everybody right now. That's
yeah,
just how it is. You know.
yeah, and Dallas, they lost to us. They've won a lot. They've beat a lot of good teams as well, but they've struggled in certain instances, and maybe even didn't even really look as good as I thought they could. I think they even looked a little tough against Surge recently. So and Surge is playing better too, right? Like Surge is finally, on paper, you look at that team, those players been around a long time. You look at Gunless, you look at Octane, Pristini, Looney, like they're finally seeming to start to put it together. So. RØKKR doesn't have an easy time by any means to kind of, get through the rest of the stage 2 here, but we'll have to see how it goes.
That was one of the worst things about getting 3-0'd by Florida and getting 3-0'd by Paris was that those, in my opinion, were the needed to win games, because Optic is never, a gimme. Empire's never a gimme, and now Surge isn't a gimme. Those are needed to be wins. So the fact that Optic could, that win could put even closer getting into the winners. It's close. But this Dallas team's a sleeping giant who easily could be MVP. I mean, just the raw talent that he has. Obviously, they're not playing like it lately, but that doesn't mean they can't turn it on, and the potential's there.
Yeah, I see it for sure. Dallas, and they kind of are one of those teams. I mean, last year you look at how they did. They had, kind of a slow start to the inaugural CDL season, but then man, did they start on fire towards the end. So, they're a great team. I'm hoping they're not going to be starting on fire today. I'm hoping we're going to ice them out. I'm trying to think of some sort of analogy. Standy,
freeze them out. I coined a great nickname for Standy. I don't know if you caught that, but
what is it?
Standy the Mandy.
Standy the Mandy. Yo, I kind of like that.
I think I'm filing a trademark for it later this week. So hopefully that catches on. Yeah,
I like it.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah. I've started a fan club called the Standy Stands.
There you go.
So if you're a Standy Stan, feel free to join. All you have to do is be a Standy Stan and just be excited, be a fan of Standy, and watch what they're doing. So, I mean, obviously we see it. We've got Dallas versus RØKKR coming up soon. Brett Blakemore and I will be here to, talk to you guys, before the match, in between the maps, and then after the match. So let's get into it. Right now, we've got Dallas, obviously. Here are the maps, Brett Blakemore, and I would love to know your take on these. We've got Hardpoint Checkmate, Search and Destroy Moscow, Control Raid, Hardpoint Raid, Search and Destroy Express. I would love to know kind of your thoughts on the map selection there and how you think it could shake out, like strength-wise. It's hard to say, I guess, because we got a new player, but what do you think?
Well, something I noticed right off the rip when I first saw the map set was in the Optic match, Minnesota vetoed Checkmate 3 times. They did not want anything to do with Checkmate, especially that Hardpoint. And if you remember last time we played Dallas, that first map was Checkmate Hardpoint. And that was the infamous lag, festival where everyone was having connection interrupted. And I don't think they had any scan repairs. It was just awful, and they had to replay the map. But still did not go well after they replayed the map. It was a classic, V1 RØKKR. By V1, I mean the first version of the roster, where they get 200 points, but the other team gets 250. They're in it, but they're not really closing out those hard points. So I'm guessing Brian and Jake saw something that they liked, or maybe they liked that matchup against Dallas. I don't know, but they vetoed Checkmate 3 times against Optic, and now we're playing at map 1. But the 2 raid matches I'm all for after the last match.
Yeah, I would definitely say, just first take, looking at the map set, the first maps may favor Dallas a bit more, but those last 3, those are looking tasty. Let's freaking go.
And then also, I mean, granted, it's a new map in the rotation, but the last time RØKKR was on Express, it did not go well, if I remember correctly. I think that was another one of those 6-5 losses in Surge.
Yeah.
So that's another question mark as to do we have more strats now for Express? That's a map that I'm just starting to figure out playing league play. So it's still kind of fresh, even though it's an old map. It's still, as far as this game goes, a fresh map. So.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see it go into the rotation. As somebody who grinded it back in 2013 in league play back then, I couldn't be happier, you know, to kind of see it nowadays back in the mix. You know, you saw Attach was going off like crazy on it. It was just, you could tell he was feeling it home, right? And it's a definitely, I would say it's one of the stronger maps in the S&D pick. So, man, I don't know. It's so hard to predict these things. I love doing predictions beforehand, but like, you know, we saw great improvement, obviously, with Sandy coming in versus Optic Chicago, and the whole team looked a little more comfortable. Priesta looked more comfortable, which is important. Wasn't expecting a 3-0 then, right? So, and I was guessing 3-2. So I'm going to go ahead and say 3-2 again for my prediction for this match, just because, you know, like I said, the last 3 maps may favor us a little bit more. Would love to know your prediction, though. What are you thinking? Map count? Are we going to win, lose? How's it going to look?
Yeah, I think I'm going to echo you with the 3-2. To me, obviously the biggest X factor is going to be Standy. Can he compete with, you know, these top SMGs in Shotzi and Hook? I mean, they are absolutely disgusting. Are they going to be able to get pressure? I mean, even this first point, top plane on checkmate, if they can get pressure into that and even contest the majority of that hill, I mean, that to me will be an absolute win, you know, because they brought in Standy to put that pressure forward into the map and not, you know, pick up the pace, a lot like what we saw last year with the roster change as well. So if he can withstand and compete with those SMGs, then I think that'll open up the game for everybody else. So I'll echo your 3-2, but I really want to see after I might have the freedom to change after the first map. We'll see.
Yeah, you never know. We'll have to kind of see how it goes. I'm hoping for a 3-2, hopefully a 3-0. I mean, that was pretty stress-free on Thursday, so I really like those vibes too. Hey, if you guys want to finish it quicker, I'm down with that.
Why not us?
Yeah, why not? I don't know. I guess this will be a really good test though, right? Like these are the kind of reps that you want to get. I mean, keep in mind, this is Standy's only his second time now playing on 60 hertz servers. Like that's the insane part to me, is he's like so fresh that he hasn't even felt the game played at this latency and the speed they're playing at. So, but I do think you made an amazing point. The subs on Optic Chicago, you know, you got Envoy, you got Scump. They're tough, but I don't know. You look at Hook, you look at Shotzi, that is a even scarier subdual. So we'll have to see how Attach and Standy and team can take them on. But with that being said, I'm going to swap over to the CDL feed now, guys. Leave us your predictions in the chat. We're both thinking 3-2s. Hopefully it's a 3-0. Who knows? Or hopefully we just show consistency. That's what I'm looking for today. We'll see you guys after map 1.
They're doing it here again, but they're 2-0. They're still winning. Things are still good in that camp.
Absolutely, and when they looked at this one on paper versus RØKKR, maybe they were feeling pretty comfortable, but that might not be the case now. We've got a new look RØKKR, absolutely frying in their first match with the new roster. Check it out.
RØKKR certainly come to play.
They can't stop it. They can't stop the kids. They can't stop it.
Whoa, Priesta, disgusting. Accuracy's there, nice kill. Bang! 200 IQ, 10 out of 10 play. Oh my word! Attach is going to save the day. RØKKR, our kings of the north.
Well, Joe, I think there were a lot of questions after the team change. Was it the right guy that was swapped? Should they have even made a change? Should they have stuck with it, maybe improved? I think a lot of those questions went away after their first match.
Yeah, I mean, if you want my opinion, you had to get Priesta to flex. I think that is where you picked up Priesta. We know how big of a pickup it was, but he needs to be a star. And he is going to be that star in the flex position. And it's just tough for their major maniac and accuracy. They're both AR players, so they needed a more natural sub, someone with aggression. And I mean, Standy, you can't ask for a better first match against going up some really tough competition. But as you said, can we do it again? That is the question for Minnesota RØKKR today.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think Priesta going into the match versus Optic had the lowest KD in the entire league, which kind of blew my mind. And then he had a good series there. So we'll see if he keeps on improving in that role. Look at the maps and modes and how it's going to play out. When you saw all 5, was there anything that really stuck out?
I mean, nothing too crazy, because both of these teams have sort of obviously Hardpoint has been a real struggle for RØKKR, but their search and destroy and control has been fine. Dallas, they've had so many deep series. There's nothing that looks too good really for either team. Maybe if you look at map 2, Search and Destroy Moscow, Dallas Empire is 1 and 3, maybe a bit of a weaker map, but again, they're trying to improve. They're trying to get ready for that second major.
Yeah, it's difficult to take a lot out of the records for RØKKR. I mean, or any team that makes a team change, because you're going to probably end up being better at some stuff that you were worse at, or worse at some ones you were good at. It kind of depends. So we'll see how it plays out. But man, this group, the absolute insanity we could have if RØKKR somehow pull this off, and just, well, Joe, in general, how impressive it would be if after a team change you come out and you beat Optic and then Empire.
That would be, yeah, I think that's what you're looking for. We knew that this Minnesota team coming into the year, what we thought was going to be a team that would compete with the best on their best day. And then the question would just be, was it a really good weekend? Can they keep that up? But here we go. In the hill number 1 on Checkmate, Hardpoint on board with our MVP from last year, Shotzzy. Just staying alive, waiting for his teammate Hook, but it's Standy who's going to win that duel. Standy going to take them both down.
Yeah, Standy, man, he was fun to watch. I know we haven't had a ton of it in the Pro League, but the man was on fire. What, a 1.5 around that in his first series? I think that's going to be tough to replicate, but we'll see if he can somehow get it done. Spawning on the safe side is Hook, so they'll still control that right side of the map. I think trying to push through right now is Attach, and he does find a kill. Priest getting one in the mid plane, but still holding deep is Hook. The rest of his teammates are going to spawn on the opposite side. And they take out Hook. Attach, lovely little wall bang there to take him out. There's the flip, and they'll rotate out. Neither team gets a ton of time in the first hard point, but RØKKR now in a decent position to tax them on.
Well, it's actually Dallas who flipped really early on. I think Krim goes on a big wide flank. He had those spawns flip, and then, you know, RØKKR, they fight their way on back, Attach with a huge couple of plays, getting those 2 kills. Now as this second hills spawns on up. Here comes the first push. Standy knows where the pressure's coming from. Look at those shots. Takes them both down. Up to 6 kills already. On the hill is just going to be accuracy, getting all that time. Have great position on the map. You see Priest pushed up on that left side. Does get taken down, but not a ton of pressure. This has been a clean 30 seconds until this point. Is Krim with his first kill of the map, wins that 1v1.
Yeah, I take back what I said about Standy not posting a 1.5. He's just going to do it again. on fire early, and yeah, that flip for RØKKR obviously pays dividends as they're able to get a huge chunk of time. Priest in the flex roll, looking good. Unfortunately, Attach thought he looked a little too good. Team kill there, some friendly fire come in. Now under the plane we will go. Standy's POV as he's going to look for the openers. Can't quite finish it. Hook actually hits the shots. Nice win there from Hook, and that's going to be a matchup throughout the course of this that should be fun to watch.
Yeah, it should be. And then you can't forget about Attach. I mean, Attach, you know, before the roster change, he was the best player on this team, stats-wise. I mean, don't forget about it. I mean, this guy can be a star. He's a world champion. He's a champion in Call of Duty. He's been doing it for so long now. Such a solid player. Still, yeah, he's aging well. I mean, yeah, he really is. You got to give it to him.
It's just wild to think that he's like he's a vet now, right? But like, I don't know, he seems so young. Well, Hook now trying to finesse down low. Not going to be able to do it, but Empire, they've lost to RØKKR once, but they're 2-0 in the group. Down 20 or so points, looking to bring it back. Let's get to an Astro listening with Dallas Empire.
I got a tap.
You guys are middle?
I do now.
Above me? Oh my god, that guy got shit on.
Playing, Lamar playing.
Yeah, last guy, right wing.
Yeah,
right wing.
Lamar,
There's one in there, spawn in there.
Lamar was one bullet.
Spawning right.
Loading.
Yo,
top left wing. Wood. In wood and top left wing. One's close.
Yo, middle.
Lamar,
mid dead, nice.
Middle dead.
Good job.
One is mid plane, right?
I'm gonna go middle.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, he's hitting your front.
Yeah, hit plane.
Got him.
One's fork, weak fork, or what?
Right side.
I'm in plane tail.
Yo, Woodhall left side. Another guy is right side too.
One went plane steps,
I'm in plane.
Keep on.
Yeah, they're gonna hit me on high.
One
more mid plane, going left wing.
Okay, hold on.
He's
top left, Lamar hurt.
Yeah, I had to hop off. Help me on hill.
Lamar, one shot, goal, dead.
Hit time. Stay over.
This close. He got me. He's still there. Got one more.
Sit down. Good one, partner.
No, weak.
Hold his
Their
spot.
side, bind up.
Yeah, I'm going top.
Yo, one guy's going left wing.
Shift new. Someone shift new.
He's bottom plane.
I'm going now.
Are you? I'm gonna push you.
They're going to play top. Yeah.
I'm full wrapping green.
Wait, did we ever get bottom plane?
Yo, please, one shot A lane.
I can get him.
I'm watching the push here. Sorta. Pushing through. One shot back alley.
Back alley.
No, yep.
Yeah, he's weak.
Where'd he go?
He's still back alley.
Yo, mid plane.
He's back
He's
right
still
there.
back there. Yeah, play for me.
He's in the hole on you.
I'm on
Watch
it.
One's bottom
our
left wing.
closet.
Sit
I got one
down.
bottom
Yo,
left.
Wood, Sandy.
Extra right ring.
Still
Right
wood,
ring,
still
last
wood.
one out.
Yeah, wood, yeah.
I spawned out as well.
Sep,
That one.
try to just get
Yeah,
kills.
For wood.
Well, there was a lead change for a moment there for Empire, but RØKKR will go back out in front, but Joe threw the listen in and they jumped out for you.
No, I mean, I'm pretty cool for Dallas Empire. Maybe you'd like a little bit more energy, but it was really Krim leading the way. But I'm going to say the last half of that listen, and it was Standy who made a crazy play. He flanks all the way through. You heard, you have to focus him. You have to focus him. He gets through wood. He allows his team to get those back spawn, flips it. There was an opportunity for Dallas Empire to have this lead that RØKKR has right now. But an individual play from Standy. Nice shots with that 74U. They're looking for that playmaking ability. That's why they brought him on this roster. He makes one right there, and they're going to have a 24-point lead as we head to our next set of hills.
You saw his interview. He talked about his ability to get trophies off the map. Well, there's an example of it, just clearing those out, getting openings for his teammates. And Reese has been playing well as well in that flex position, hitting shots. But with this second set of rotations, I mean, the flip from RØKKR is what got them that early lead. They're going to have to do it again here if they're going to get control of the right side of the map for a second. Illy and Krim, though, combined to take down one. Still spawning out deep will be RØKKR. And Hook, not shocked to see him leading the way at 16-12.
16-12, Krim right behind him. And you've seen Illy kind of go QBZ. You've seen him with the Krig. I think maybe it's just sort of the 60 hertz servers. But, we've seen a lot of double Krigs. A lot of people thought that QBZ maybe was going to have a bigger impact. We've seen, some Iron Sight QBZ. But it feels like, players still trying to figure out the meta, what they want to use in these matches. But, Krim, he's been a beast their last couple of games with that Krig. He's really impressed me in that main R role. And now they're going to get set up for that second hill. They didn't have this last time around. They hold on to the spawns, but here comes the push. Illy, Krim, both going to find kills. Illy with the double, that will take care of that. And you see Shotzi's position, number one. Great spot here, and he spawns them so far away.
Well, with only, 35 seconds remaining, you're not going to get a lot of shots at this if you're RØKKR. This push is going to be big. The openings will be huge, but Krim just lining them up. Great beams there with the Krig. And, yeah, it's got to feel good, I guess, for maybe a veteran or someone's been competing a long time in the sense of something like the Krig, a more natural AR. You're now fighting against subs for the most part. Not those kind of super do-it-all weapons that are flying around the map. And maybe that's why we've seen him finding more success.
Yeah, and we thought with the XM4, I thought that would be a really good weapon for Krim because he's in the past been sort of one of the players that can do it all, and he likes to take those challenges and maybe at times maybe be a bit over aggressive. But the Krig, we've seen him in S&Ds have double-digit maps, and he's been so good for them throughout Stage 2. Doing it again here, and yeah, maybe it is just a more natural role and something where this feels better for him.
Well, you get all that time if you're Empire, and now you're in control of third. You've already got the flip for 4 and 5 on the left side of the map, but one does actually spawn out all the way deep as they had nobody deep. That's Priest that's going to spawn in behind him, and he's able to at least get one before Hook's able to clean up the scraps. Shotzi now involved in the action. This has been a fantastic stretch for Empire. What was once a tie game, right around 130, now a 50-point advantage for Empire. As this has just been lovely, lovely work. And Illy has surged through now at 21 and 16. 4 streak for Hook. They have dominated over the last minute and a half.
Yeah, you had Shotzi on a 5 spree. You have Hook on 4 now. Illy was on a spree and still is. He's alive. Yeah, the slaying just has really flipped as you go from that second hill to this third hill. And we talked about their positioning on second, just made it so easy for them to continuously cut off RØKKR. They get that flip once again. They get them trapped back there towards the top right side of the mini-map. They're trying to fight on through accuracy on the hill, trying to do what he can. 3-player Shallon pulls out the pistol. Can he find number 4? Shotzi runs right into him. Beautiful stuff for accuracy. Maybe finally they can get some map control behind that play.
Yeah, it's a great play, but is it going to be enough? You're in a big hole. You need every possible second. Is who's lurking inside the plane. That's going to be Rista and Standy is trying to watch this cross and get the push through if possible to try and work towards 5th. Atash is trying to finesse. Well, that didn't work out very well. Shotzi will be able to line it up. They lose a teammate inside the plane as well as that was Priest in position. Look how far out both of them spawn. Atash and Priesta. Opposite side of the map, Standy, the lone man left inside of the Hardpoint, and as he drops, things get even more difficult. You chipped away at the lead a bit, but still so much work to do.
Yeah, and last time they broke this hill, it was Standy who had positioning up through the 4th hill. And now with that spot that Shotzi was in, he kind of spawns them low right, and they have to make a decision. Do we want to try and break through the front here, go through plane? You know, you don't have too much time to decide, so they gotta go. They gotta go quickly. Only 24 more seconds for Dallas Empire to win this map 1. But there's gonna be 3 dead. It's attached with a double, and he find the triple. He cannot. Shotzi trying to do what he can to stay alive.
You had, I guess they just didn't have anyone forward enough, so you still kind of spawn deep if you're Empire and have a chance to fight back into this one. But you may have done enough soon here to make sure they can't win it on this hard point and give yourself a chance in the 3rd set of rotations. But it's really just Standy here lurking. He's going to have to do it all. Can't get the kill. There's enough time remaining for them to get the win if they get every second. One spawns in behind. That's going to be Standy. One pushing from the front was attached as he will drop. They've just got to contest here for a moment. There's the contest. That'll be enough to get us to another hard point. But simply too much time at the tail end of that probably.
Yeah, and then in the next hard point is going to be Dallas Empire, and they win by 70. I mean, after that first rotation, you had a bit of a lead if you're a RØKKR, but second set of hills, it was all Dallas. Just from start to finish, they do such a good job. And it feels like they really controlled map control, right? Minnesota could not get out of the trap. They were spawning on the opposite end that they wanted to. The slaying really picked up for Dallas, and we look at the scoreboard, it is just balanced from everyone. Everyone right around that mid-20s mark. A great game, number 1 for them.
Well, you and I touched on this a lot yesterday in the FaZe versus Thieves match. The 17th replay of map 1 was kind of similar in that it was very tight through the first set of rotations. Then FaZe kind of took control through the halfway point. We were kind of talking about, you know, the top teams, they find ways to adapt and improve over the course of the map, and likely what you see there from Empire. You get to that halfway point, you start to see a lot more control. They start frying, they dominate over the final couple minutes.
Yeah, here we go. Here is that look. And yeah, 27, 24, 25, 29. 29 and 18 from Moose. Big damage there out of Criminelli with those ARs. They win by 70 points, and that's big, right? Because Minnesota, they're coming off that hot 3-0. They're getting momentum. Maybe practice is going well for Dallas. A big map there to try to slow that momentum down.
Absolutely. But, you know, you said this in the beginning. Basically, you know, with RØKKR, Hardpoint has been their weakness, right? Like they haven't been great there, and yes, Standy might help them improve, but if they're going to win series, it's still likely going to come through 2-3-5 where they're going to find some success. We'll see if they can bounce back in the search and destroy. But for map 1, it's a big win for Empire. We continue on after this quick break.
Brett Blakemore, you hate to see it go down 0-1 in the hard point. I mean, we kept it closer than usual on hard point, but what'd you kind of notice about that map?
First half looked great. I was even mentioning to you, like, this new roster I felt like was always ahead of the rotations, and through like the first set they were, especially that P2 and yellow, they were there. They had those spawns well in advance, and they actually had a pretty good hold on that. But then through the second set of rotations, it just further and further got away from it. It's kind of looked like the first iteration of the roster as the hard point got going, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. But, I mean, Dallas is a really good hardpoint team, so I mean, so was Optic, though, right? Well, then we saw what happened Thursday, so
83
not
points?
all is lost. Yeah, it was tough. 100-point clubbed them. But now we're going to Moscow S&D, and I mean, you mentioned it at the beginning of the co-stream. You know, Search and Destroy is one of Dallas's kind of weaker modes right now. So, you know, it's tough to. I would say S&D is the toughest mode for a new player to just slot into. But we looked really nice on it versus Optic Chicago. So we'll have to see how this goes. You know, I'm not in must-win territory right now, but if I was, I would say the S&Ds in this series are must-wins if we're going to take it. So we'll get you back over to the CDL feed, and we'll be back after the Search and Destroy.
It's tough because this RØKKR team's new. They look so impressive in their first match, but I guess we're wondering if that is going to hold, and I want to know what for you, Joe, the game fuel keys to victory. What stands out? How are they going to continue to find success if you're RØKKR?
Yeah, you need Priesthood to continue to get comfortable in his new position. Right, he had a 1.15. You talked about he was the lowest KD in the league prior to that. And then, yeah, you bring on Standy, and he's making the plays, right? Maybe he has a different way he's looking at the game. but keep him comfortable, and then they have to improve that hard point to compete. It was 3-9, now it's 3-10. I mean, just look, S&D in control, even with the previous roster, it was there. They were competing with the best, but what, 2-9 before their match with Optic Chicago? That's just not good enough to compete with the best teams in our league. So that hard point, that has to be a focal point for them.
Yeah, I mean, you improve that to just over 50-50, and then you've got modes where you're sitting around
50-50.
So yeah, if you're sitting usually around 60 to 75% in all modes, if you can be that well-rounded, you've got a chance to obviously beat anybody. But on the other side of it, let's look at Dallas Empire now. Joe, take it away.
Yeah, you got to find the right adjustments in Search and Destroy. They have the largest margin of losses in the league at a 3.67. So whoever's making those comms in-game, you know, you got to be a little bit quicker. Everybody get on the same page. Hook is the X factor. I mean, we saw it there, 29 and 18 performance out of him. But in hardpoint and control, he is leading this team. He's number 1 in hardpoint, number 3 in control in our league. And then Shotzi and Illy, I want to see them improve a little bit in Search and Destroy. That Search and Destroy game mode is what this team thrived off of last year. It's what that trio built themselves off of, and they do more of it.
And then we've got the social soundboard from Astro, from our very own Mile the Ross. That run from Shotzi was absolutely incredible. From point to point, cleaned up rotation, top lane, then held P3 with pure finesse. Go back and watch that absolute masterclass. Oh, dude, Miles is trying to be you, Joe. He's trying to break it down.
Well, he's trying to be like Chance, right? I don't know.
Yeah. No. Wait,
it's probably one of those things where like Chance was talking about it. It's sort of what you do, where you just type it. So it's probably Chance thought in his tweet.
Probably. No, you're probably right. What I want to ask you, I was reading through we have a combo with our stats guy Tyler going back and forth about key stuff. Didn't they have like the largest, when they lost, wasn't Hardpoint also like one of the biggest margins, or was that just Search and I read it wrong?
Yeah, no, it was also like 80 plus in Hardpoint and Search.
And that was like number 1, right? Well,
yeah,
no, I'm just saying, that's kind of weird if 2 of the 3 modes, when they lose, they're losing worse than everybody else. That's just kind of odd to me.
You also have to remember that 8 of their map losses came to Atlanta.
That's true.
They lost 3 in the winners final and 5 in the grand final, right? Yeah, that's a tough one because they played Atlanta FaZe the most.
Actually, think about how wild that is. I mean, it's kind of a testament to, I guess, Strong Faces right now. We're like you'd argue the second best team has the worst losses in 2 of the 3 modes as a factor of that. Wild stuff. But all right, it's talking to this map too. It is 1-3 for Empire, 2-1 for the side of RØKKR. So Empire haven't found a ton of success on this map, but I think we've all been waiting for them to improve and Search and Destroy, and all 40 of them hit right up mid. Unfortunately, they're not going to win that fight. 2 will drop. 1 falls for RØKKR, and then some shots in from Priesta to make Krim the last alive.
Oh my, Standy with some beautiful shots there to end that round. I don't know who the last one was, but they were trying to run away from it, and Standy's like, now it's this Krim. Krim's getting set up, and man, that 70-40, that headshot comes in, and it's like, okay, you're dead. All right.
You saw Krim's aim. He was like, I think he was like surprised that he flew at him like that. He like couldn't snap on him, but nice start from Standy there. 2-0 as RØKKR win that mid-map battle and take control of it early. Now we'll put Empire on offense and see how they'd like to play this out. Looks like the focus is going to be towards mid-map once again. And look at this 3-man hit from P. Pretty aggressive from RØKKR on the B side of the map.
Where Dallas are playing pretty slow. And, Moscow at times is a lot of information, some hard counters. We just saw that in round number 1 where RØKKR just shoot up right up the middle. Dallas isn't ready for it. They catch him off guard. Now this way, they take mid control. They're starting to work up top escalators. Priesta now just needs to play his life. He's the info guy. Not want to get taken down. If he does get taken down, at least take 1 down with it. Here comes the flank. Standy, he's going to lose this one to Krim. Going to be a first blood, and Krim knows there's going to be more pressure. Try to get out with his life.
He hit him to 3 health, though. he almost lost that. Illy, though, nice read there on top. Eskies gets the kill. 3v2 for Empire. Lurking in the middle of it is going to be Priesta, but the flank will come in. The final kill goes through, and Empire get the round win to square us up.
Yeah, they just sort of sniff out the round. They take it slow middle. They don't see anything middle. And maybe because they don't see anything middle of the map, they know it's probably a stack to one site. Or maybe we got them to rotate off of it. And we've seen that when you have a very early A presence defensively, you don't see anything in the first 15 to 20 seconds. One player will immediately rotate back to B to try to help out that swing player. So, that's probably what they were basing that round off of. They go up to A. They don't allow Priestess to pick one off, and, you know, Krim gets that first blood.
Well, he has a chance for another one here. As he realizes a second player. I couldn't tell exactly how many he saw. Krim might get caught, but the help is coming through mid. So Ilya is here to give some assistance. Krim can play a bit more aggressive. He's got Trophy out as well. And now he's going to know there's multiple players here.
Whole team's here, actually.
Yeah. I think it was 2 on the street before, but everybody's kind of grouped up on this side now.
Do Minnesota back away. Shotzi's in a bit of a lurk position up towards the A site. Luke, Illy controlling middle of the map, but it's going to be on Krim again. He's going to deal with the brunt of this push. Trying to spot anything. Yeah, Krim creeping up, accuracy creeping up. There's the swing. There's the first blood.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had that help there for a while, but the help rotated out. Krim then by himself. He's going to get caught. Now they start to push on forward. Some shots there into Hook, but he's able to get out with his life. There's a one-on-one mid-map. Priest able to take that as well. And now the flood on in. I was going to say, if somehow Hook can stay up while Shotzi flanks, maybe they can disrupt this, but he's going to get caught. Now it's all on Shotzi in a 1v4.
Able to take down one, but going to be difficult. You have Standy and Priest in the middle of the map. Back on up, and I think he actually catches Standy switching weapons, so there's going to be another one. 1 versus 2.
May do it. Not a ton of time. He's got to go. Accuracy is set up deep. He's got the angle with the AR, and he gets the kill, but RØKKR, I thought we're letting that slip away, but the clock was on their side, and accuracy in a good position deep.
And maybe, I don't know, you know, Krim is, you know, he's taking the duels. We know he's a confident player. He'll take the one-on-ones. He was just trying to give himself, you know, a different angle to catch one of the players off guard, but he's actually the one that gets caught off guard. And maybe because he has 2 teammates middle of the map, he's hoping for a trade or a little bit of help on that cross, but that doesn't happen.
They did rotate over to help him, and then I don't know if there was a call that
just
they were
backed
rotating
away.
off of it. Yeah, because as soon as they back up, basically the hit comes in and he gets caught. See what they can do here offensively. Accuracy closed out the last round. He opens with the first blood in this one. Luke just able to dodge the nade. Now he wants to take the fight. Standy, nice little shoulder there. Gets the information, gets out, and the Trophy just gobbling up all of the tacticals.
On offense, they've really been focused on mid control. But that time they do get first blood at accuracy here. He spots a few. He needs to play his life. The pressure is coming in. Hook on one side, Krim on the other. They're trying to isolate him. That is a huge kill by accuracy, and he lines up the second. The finesse on accuracy.
Give it to him. Here's
Give him the ace.
There it is, the ace for accuracy as he chops down the entire Empire side. 3-1 RØKKR.
Just hoping for one there, but the little slide off, the little ledge slide, able to find the second. Nice snap, and you get some help. Illy rotates over, and accuracy with a huge round.
His hip fire even hit there when he made it to the top. Like, that round was just working out for him. So he should be on, yeah, that's sad. I thought 5 in a row. He's done 6 in a row. It's 7-1. He's very, very close to getting some streaks here. Maybe we can stick with him and see if he's able to pick him up, unless the skirmish obviously goes down to the other side of the map. But look at the stack for Empire defensively. Heavy towards A and mid. B, kind of wide open for now.
Yeah, because Hook's position, they immediately rotate 2 back over towards B. They're thinking this is a B hit, and they are correct. Well, Krim's ready for it. There's that first blood, but can they get that kill on accuracy? And accuracy's just maybe hoping to get a bomb plant, try to get anything going his way. I'm gonna try and wrap it.
It's like
Standy's
now,
over there.
how important on a map like this, like if you're up 3-1, like how much focus do you put in to get that streak versus even winning the round?
I mean, it obviously helps the A-bomb site, but there's a ton of cover on this map. It's not like a map like Raid where it's so important. But he does get the kill. It looks like Empire going to get the round win. And this is big, right? Because we talked about them having that, largest loss margin. This is a point where it's 3-1. What adjustments do you make on both sides of the game? And, they go back to that setup. But instead of sort of challenging middle of the map, they allow RØKKR to come to them a little bit towards the B site. That they find that first blood, and then they get aggressive.
A little bit of hide and go seek there. Just, I know it's pretty obvious, but for any new viewers, he's just trying to stay alive, get as far away as possible because he's still got a chance to earn his second streak. We'll take a look at the best play. It's just Hook winning his one-on-one on the opposite side. But yeah, I mean, as quickly, I was basically saying they had that A stack before I finished it. They said they were rotating so fast over, as you said, due to Hook's position, and with that nice first blood.
And I've liked what they've done on offense, taking middle. We typically don't see that too often, or it's challenged, and that's when you have those crazy rounds because, you know, this map's similar to Raid. You have mid control, the rotates in between up escalators or, you know, through that cut can be really quick. But last time through, they just got first blood, and that's when accuracy picked them apart. So you kind of go back to that first round that we saw, which is a bit of a default, very slow on both sides of the map. Just trying to see if RØKKR get aggressive and trying to catch them and then work up the map from there. But RØKKR giving them nothing. I thought they were going to start to rotate, and I think maybe now they will. So it looks like Standy's going to yell Priest to top S. He's going to take one down and gets away.
Accuracy got his streak too. I believe he'll have both now as he won a one-on-one against Krim on the outside of the site. Now it's just really to Ilya and Shotzi to try and bring it back in this 2 versus 4. Somehow, some way. There's the first pick. Accuracy nearly gets his 9th in a row. RØKKR get the round win. Accuracy gets all his streaks. Accuracy's on 8 in a row. Things are looking good.
Priest with the 74, and whew. This is yeah, it's why we wanted to see him in this position, because I mean he's just one of the players naturally who can do it with any weapon. He does it there to finish that round off, puts them up too. Back on attack. It feels like a lot of these rounds where it's really come down to is really those first bloods, where it's Krim on one side, accuracy on the other. Sort of AR duel has been deciding some of these rounds.
Yeah, I think they've had so many one-on-ones, right? They're a much-needed first blood, though, for Empire. Shotzi gets it. Accuracy, there it is again. Accuracy this time on the losing end of it as Krim beams him from that outer street. Attach and Priest, the last 2 up. They're going to be able to recoup bomb, I think. Looks like Attach is standing right next to it. Oh, it's outside. I thought it was inside for a second.
And that's just based off their last defensive round, right? They sort of stacked A, rotated off. They didn't see much off A, so this time they play around mid. They play around Krim on that street. That's where RØKKR were into this 2v4. And if accuracy's alive, you get the bomb down, maybe you're telling him to, you know, use his streak, but he's not. Empire don't want to get picked. They're going to go for the retake, and, well, the timing works out in their favor.
Priesta now, 1 versus 4. Can't snap on to the first. Clean for Empires. They'll take it and bring it within a round. Hook will hop the defuse. And yeah, you still have those 2 streaks to use, so what's your game plan? If it were you, how are you using them here in the upcoming rounds?
Well, I mean, on defense, you can sort of stack mid and B, so they don't get to that site. Maybe, you know, the one round we had Priesta playing back A, if he can get some info, you can have accuracy, sort of use it on defense in that way to maybe work a pick, sort of flood them into you. Or you can just wait until offense and really try to, you know, get a quick plan towards A. You have accuracy. I'll play all the way in the back of the map towards back library and just secure a round win with both the artillery and the Firestorm missile. So we'll see what they go with by cruise missile.
Yeah, I mean, it can be tricky sometimes to get it right. I mean, I don't know, just in search and destroy compared to like respawns. Sometimes they can hurt you if you get a bad use out of it, that's for sure. But accuracy, chance to back onto this. He's going to back it up for now, though. It's a 3-man hit right up the middle for Empire. You've got 2 players deep, though. And accuracy and Priesta lying in wait. Priesta, yeah, trying to dodge all the nades and just able to get away. Now Standy will be the next up the bat. And 2 get cracked and dropped. Nice round there from RØKKR, and 1 round away from tying us up at 1-1.
And there, again, Dallas Empire, they go for that mid control. As soon as the first player drops, though, and there's no trade, you know, Priesta stays alive from those nades, it just feels like it's a bit of a panic button from Dallas Empire of, okay, because we're a man down, we have to try and go and execute on a different site as fast as possible. But they're ready for it, and that was a very clean round from RØKKR, and now you're in this position where you have those streaks. What's going to be the call? Do you work a pick, Or do you just try and work the bomb? The accuracy just going to watch the flank as his 3 teammates fly up towards that A site. And with the pressure up mid, he's just going to back all the way up. First blood for Standy.
They can close it out here. Behind the 4v2 now is Attach involved as well.
And that's the idea. I mean, look at where accuracy is, right? He backs all the way up. He's going to give him the info with the artillery. And there we go. RØKKR tie it up 1-1.
As you said, their search has been solid even before the team change. It looks fantastic there, and still it's, I don't know, seems kind of day-to-day for Empire at times. Granted, this was one of their worst maps. They'll be out to, 1-4 now in Moscow. Search and Destroy is, for whatever reason, this is one they just can't get rolling on.
That just seems, I mean, Moscow's just one of those maps where early on the rounds can kind of be decided. It feels like on offense, if those trades aren't there, they're giving up too many clean first bloods, and that just allows RØKKR to use their numbers. Teams are just too good at it lately, especially a team like Minnesota.
Yeah, it's great to see accuracy do so well. You know, you and I were kind of talking about the story yesterday with Ultra and Bance and how maybe he was feeling some pressure. It felt like a lot of the community was kind of breathing down his neck, and I kind of felt that way for accuracy. You know, after the team change, it seemed like some people thought it should be him. Then they come out and they have that incredible performance versus Optic, which I think shuts some people up. And then you have a great map like that where you dominate the Search and Destroy. You end up going on like an 8th spree. You get full streaks. You take care of one of the best teams in the game. You tie us up 1-1. But I don't think, as long as he's competing, that maybe that's going to be a thing that phases him. But still, good to see him do it well.
Yeah, 9-2 for him. You had 9 for Priesta as well. Standy and Attach. Well, they just get work done with those 74s. But yeah, it was really the Creek players' accuracy. Priesta kind of using both of those weapons on the other side. Not really a great map for anyone. It just felt like when, you know, the rounds were clean. They were very clean for Minnesota RØKKR. They do a great job using their man advantage. And I mean, accuracy, he made the play. He made the big individual play.
Well, speaking of that big play, Joe, let's look at our U.S. Army tactical play. It's going to be accuracy with the ace. Little slide, as you mentioned, some finesse, hoping to get one, ends up getting them all.
Yeah, he gets his first blood. Right, there's that mid-pressure from Dallas Empire. They were really focusing on that, but there was no trade early on. They lose the bomb. Now you're in this 3v4, and it's sort of what's the call. And they see that there's multiple members over towards this site. So they rotate on back towards B, and they're trying to isolate accuracy as quickly as possible because they know he's the lone man. If they can take him down, they can get it to a 3v3. Maybe they can work the bomb site and get that plant. But accuracy, this is where he was able to get that ace and turn that into streaks, and it's just an individual play, him playing his life.
Yeah, I was so happy when I saw the final guy kind of right on his side in front of him, because so many times, you know, they get 3 and then teammate gets the 4. That's why I was like, give it to him. And it was all accuracy. Wins the fight, dominates the game 2. We're tied up at 1-1, heading to control after this break.
For as nervous as we felt after map 1, we sure got our stress alleviated a little bit in that Search and Destroy. Won very nicely, accuracy absolutely popping off. He gets the ace. Priesta he went mad positive, did really well too. What'd you love to see out of the boys there on Search, Brett?
Yeah, there was some question marks, and again with the checkmate, we just knew that wasn't one of ours. But our old friend, old reliable Search and Destroy came through again. Just insert the SpongeBob meme of the jellyfishing net. Old reliable Search and Destroy.
Exactly.
So I'm glad to see that came through. The ace by accuracy, disgusting. Absolutely gross.
Krim had no business losing that gunfight, and he did. Dang, accuracy popped off.
Also, what I noticed too, they were really adjusting mid-game. We saw Attach running a Craig at one point, and then obviously running a sub. Priesta was mixing it up the whole game as well. He was running a sub as well as an AR. So it was interesting to see their mid-round adjustments. Also, I don't know if Empire just has spidey sense, but their rotations, even in a loss, were just insane. Every time it felt like RØKKR were pushing one way, it was a hard read. But it just goes to show how good our S&D game is, that we're still able to adjust against the adjustment and figure it out.
Yeah, you always got to mold to your competition in Search and Destroy and try to read what they're doing and pick up on it. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to executing what you want to do. And you know, when RØKKR won that offense where they pushed through street, got into B, got that thing planted, it was just, I mean, that always feels good because then you get ahead in rounds and you just kind of have to win your defenses and win out. And then plus with Lamar or Accuracy getting the streaks there, that just it's, you know, you could still have a tough time. You still got to close it out, but that just, you know, gives you some confidence towards the end of the game there. So now we're going to be going into Control on Raid. This has quickly become the most popular Control map. We do think, you know, as far as the other ones go, particularly if you look at it against, you know, a Checkmate. Checkmate's very defensively favored. I would say Control is almost always defensively favored. However, Raid is the most even keel of the map. So we'll have to see how this goes, you know, see what sides we're starting on. You know, I can't recall who picked this or who vetoed what or whatever, but look at Maven dancing.
Yeah, that's some jazz hands there.
Let's go,
yeah.
Maven. All right. Well, guys, the Raid Control's coming up. Let's hope we can go up 2-1 in the series. But yeah, we'll be back after the Raid Control. We'll see you soon.
But he was in his first series. Let's take a look at just what incredible effort it was for the rookie coming in his first series. The man was frying. It was just awesome to see. It's difficult for new players coming in sometimes, whether you're, you know, just fazed by the spectacle of it all. He was not.
No, he wasn't. I mean, he was added to this roster for a reason, and I mean, yeah, best debut series in PDL history. And it was also against one of the better teams in our league. Whether it was an off day for them or a great day for Sandy, it doesn't really matter because the kid did it. I mean, 13-4 in Search. You see the hardpoint and Control. It didn't matter the mode. 1.52 overall. That was a crazy one.
Yeah, I just think it's huge because there are a lot of factors when it comes to being a professional player, but just, you know, confidence in yourself and confidence in general, I think, is huge. And not that he lacked it going in or anything, but it's just got to be with your first match to play like that. It's got to be a huge boost in that category just going forward.
Well, and also, like, you know, you join a team and your first two matches are Optic Chicago and Dallas Empire. So, you know, it could be one of those things where you go 0-2 or, you know, or you don't have great games because you're trying to make adjustments. That didn't matter. So far, so good. They're 1-0. They beat a really good team. Right now, 1-1 against Dallas Empire, but now we're going to Control.
Yeah, I think you'd be happy with winning one of these two matches. I mean, maybe not happy because you're 0-2 going into it, but you walk away with both these victories, you're suddenly in the hunt for a winner's bracket spot for our next major. So yeah, it's pretty insane how things may turn around for RØKKR, but obviously still a lot of work to do here. And this is a really good map for both teams. I mean, they're both 4-2. They both played it a ton. We'll see what Standy's impact can be on this particular map, but who kind of opens things up, but right onto the point will be Standy. And for now, he's just pushing through, trying to get a little bit of an off angle, and it's going to pay off. He's able to pick up Krim.
Yeah, and Standy's just trying to get aggressive. He's able to take down Italy and allow them to get a lot of control. There's one more player trying to find him. That's who. He's like, where did Standy go? Standy's back on the A zone.
Yeah, I think he unintentionally put him on skates. Like,
yeah, just trying to look for him. And we've watched a lot of Dallas Empire on this map. They've clutched up at some really key moments, but one guy for you and I that we've looked out for, and it just feels like he has huge swing rounds, is Illy. So my eye out is on him. 0-2 start. Minnesota RØKKR, they had A, but now the focus is on B. You see Shotzi and Illy on the top right. They're sort of getting into that setup that we see very often where you control that top apartment. You focus for the offensive team to jump out of money room. They find 3 kills. Hook maybe doesn't know where Standy is. Standy actually lurks all the way through once again. How does he play this? Just trying to take his time and find the right moment to go. And he's going to go right now. Takes down Krim.
Attached gets a kill at the same time, but already pushed up towards the apartment will be Illy, who's able to trade that out. If your Empire is still in a decent spot, lives are even, you just have to hold for quite some time. They had about 2 minutes to work with for this second point. Down to 90 seconds, but yeah, just a lot of defense still to be had. Here comes the 2-man hit. We'll take that 2 for 1, but Hook gets involved, and it'll be an even trade across the board. Priesta is still lurking up through back kitchen. Nice position here from Standy to pick up the push mid-map. Hook was trying to hit the pinch, not going to work out. Priest, I think, gets stuck, so that'll be the end of that run.
Yeah, but they at least took Illy out of apartment, so you can see the push now coming from the front. The two players controlling kitchen, just buying time. Accuracy, attach, getting pushed up. Nice shots from those two. Now 3 players going to be around this point. You're trying to at least get some trades if you're Empire. You don't want to get taken down cleanly. Allow them to stack that point. A big set of kills coming up for both of these teams. Lives remaining 7 versus 12. Priesta is able to find 2 with that Krieg.
Yeah, up until this point, you've been trading pretty evenly. You haven't allowed them to get in. That's the key here on defense, but there was 3 in a row for Priest to make it 4 now as he's 8-4. And you're on the point. It's moving slowly. You've just got one person working on progress. The rest trying to get these kills because you've only got 5 lives remaining now for Empire. Illy, though, a big 2. Will that be enough? 4 versus 8 now. Standy, though, gets him down to 3. I thought he was going to kill Shotzzy as well. No respawns remaining, all on Shotzzy, Illy, and Hook to somehow hold on. And this is doable. We've seen some crazier things for sure.
Yeah, let's say Illy's trying to go all the way around through middle of the map. They've kind of given up the point right now. They know that the pressure could be coming through the middle. Illy was able to take down Standy, but attach lurking. He's able to take down 2. It's all on the Hook. We've seen him pull off some crazy plays, but that is not going to happen. Priest, though, with a big couple of lives there. A great round from him with that Krieg. First offense goes to them.
Yeah, no, if you're watching Control for the first time, yeah, you'll hear Joe and I touch on it a ton. But like when you have those long defensive holds, the reason it's so hard is because you have to avoid 3 or 4 down for that entire time, basically. Because once it happens once, it might be enough. And sometimes it takes multiple times. That's not the case, but they avoided it perfectly. I mean, the trades were basically even, and the live counts even throughout the first, almost minute and a half of that. But Priesta was the difference maker there, right? He gets those 3 kills. They're absolutely massive, gets them a foothold inside of the objective, and from there, once they have the position, they run away with it.
And even just that kill from Standy on a Crim to just disrupt the setup, right? Get someone looking at an angle they weren't expecting to. That allowed RØKKR. Yeah, that allowed RØKKR to take down Illy, who was up top in that bedroom. And once they got that position, they sort of set up this, 2-front push through kitchen and through the front of the hill. And now Empire's turn, attacking A, about to get 1 tick. Hook on 9 kills right now, leading the way for his team, but Standy takes down, 1 bullet away. Finding 3 in the wall bang with the pistol.
All 4 drop, and Standy cuts them all down. What was that?
That's a confidence play right there.
Oh my, 4 in a row in quick succession. They'll finally put him down, but what an awesome play that was. The wall bang with the pistol. Just lovely work there from Standy. And now you get put into a tough spot, down 4 lives, just trying to battle out of your spawn right now if you are Empire. But they've done a good job of finding the key kills to get out. Accuracy, though, he's still on the flank. Surprise.
And I think Dallas is probably like, all right, we're going to get A. But then Standy makes that play. Minnesota, they have map position. They have the lives control. And they're still, finally, now they're able to get that last tick. Now the focus is going to be on B. You have attach pushed up. The other 3 pretty far back right now.
Well, and despite that big play, I mean, most of the kills go Empire's way right after that. They get out of that so clean, which could have been a pretty lethal trap or kind of restarting from the beginning of the game. They get out of it great. They're only down a life. They have a lot of time to work with. So you regain really well there if you're Empire.
Here's that big fight. See so often. Okay, that gives them some map position so they can work through the front. They take down attach. Now, accuracy's up next. He gets cut down. That's going to be 3 dead. Now, here comes the push. Attach inside the Tiki. Making a mojito. Able to take down 1. Trying to just stay alive. He's got some help behind him. That's going to be Standy. It's his turn, but all the kills go in the way of Empire.
Well, this is the thing, though. You get like 3 down 2 times, but what accuracy gets 2. Then Standy's kind of alone. He gets 2. Somebody ends up going big to kind of stagger it a bit and allow their teammates to get back into position. Excellent stuff, and they could just never get pushed up as far as you saw RØKKR do behind the 3 kills from Priesta.
It's a little bit staggered, but still they have a life advantage, still some time to work with. Crim trying to work a pinch, but Standy was ready for it. They're trying to get their way through kitchen. They just don't have a lot of time. Only 30 seconds left now. Illy and Hook fly on through, but because they don't have any front presence, because Priesta's in that position top bedroom, it's going to be difficult for them to get across to the point, or is it? I lied. Hook with some beams.
Okay, all right. Nice shots there from Hook. That might open it up. But Hook's really going to be the last one in position. He will get dropped. Attach and accuracy. Take everybody down. 15 seconds to go. The last heroic effort. Coming in from Empire and accuracy. Well, I dominated you map 2. I want no part of any type of comeback here. Accuracy locks it down from ring and 1 bullet from getting 3.
Yeah, and as you said, right, they just never had that moment. And even when they went 3 down, it was one player who got multiple kills. Accuracy or Standy inside of the bar. Here was that ridiculous play from Standy. Puts the shots in, needed 1 more bullet, and just goes for it. Just goes for it. Spots Krim. It just keeps on going.
Unbelievable from Standy. And that's why he's on the team.
Yeah, no, that's one reason why. Yeah. Wow.
Oh man, that was one of the sicker plays you're gonna see all year. Oh, RØKKR. Doing RØKKR things, looking solid and search and control. See if they can close this one out 3-0. Andy gets the shots in, then Priesta finishes it. No trophy here on my watch.
And they throw a 2-2 split off the start. So they send 2s towards A, and that Shotzzy thinks in his head that there's nobody B. And Standy just goes all the way through the spawn. All the way through B towards the spawn, picks up the player's back laundry. That'll allow him to get position over towards A. Now he's inside kitchen. They're trying to transition this. You have the streaks on accuracy. He's giving the call-outs to his teammates, but Hook and Krim find 2 kills. They find those are going to be right on to B. The streaks come in, and the map might be over.
Just think about how frustrating Standy has been for Empire on offense. Like, the number of times he's gotten into that position towards their spawn. They've just got to worry about him so much. Just excellent stuff from the young guy. 5 life advantage for RØKKR. They do expend a streak, but all the kills go the way of Empire, so you're not going to get any value out of that.
Krim trying to get aggressive. On right behind him. Patch trying to deal with him on one side. Illy takes down 2 on the other. I mean, look at that on the scoreboard from the point of A. I mean, that's, what, 8 kills in a row for Dallas. Before that happens, accuracy, another 2 kills, up to 20 for him, and that opens up the B point where he's just going to try and pause this clock.
I'll get tucked away for a second, waiting for the help to come in. Standy wins a big gunfight at the mid steps. He'll be able to rally forward, but accuracy does drop at the same time. Krim gets 2. Standy inside of Tiki. Trying to play his life. He's getting hit from every side, but it's not going to matter. Standy continues to find the kills. Finally, Shotzzy, though, in on the trade. He's at 14 and 19 and just looking to stand tall defensively. There's still a minute to go. This is likely going to come down to lives again. We'll see if RØKKR can bleed him out or Empire can push us to a 4th round.
And I mean, who 14 and 20? I swear at one point he was like 9 and 7. I think I remember saying he was leading the way. So since that point, like 5 and 12 or so, they put it in a blender a little bit. But can they hold on? 1 streak was used.
Well, he's on a 1v18 there, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe why. But there's another 2-piece from Minnesota RØKKR member. Hook spawns up court, just trying to stay alive. Has the help of Illy, has the help of Shotzzy.
And Standy, once again, just spawn side for Empire, finding kills in their back line. 25 seconds to go. 8 lives for Empire, 9 lives for RØKKR. Attach will be the next guy up. Big one-on-one win for him. Skirmishes all over the map, but the time going to be massive. Empire can hold on here. You've got to get into the point if you're RØKKR or somehow find all these kills.
Illy's been massive.
I see your gun. I see your gun. Accuracy able to hit the shots. He'll get forward now into the point. Clock will stop.
It's a 4v7, but this is really it. This is going to be the last push. Can Dallas deal with it? Can they clutch up, get us to another round? Or are we headed to a map 4? Krim, a lot of damage in on him. Very slow progress. Minnesota taking their time right now. Do not want to overextend.
That's 2 kills for Empire. That's 3 kills for Empire. It's massive. It's just attached, and with only 3 seconds, nobody on the point. And Empire in the 4v7 get the clear off the objective, and they take the round.
Yeah, and that was Illy. I mean, Illy went huge. When we were on board with Attach inside a kitchen, and he was kind of, messing with Krim off his spawn, on the opposite side of the map top bedroom, Illy won multiple 1v1s. Just him staying alive allowed his team to spawn up and deal with the push inside a kitchen. So Illy with a massive round. Up to 20 kills for him and Krim, and they stay alive.
Shotzzy just waiting patiently on the push through. You know how aggressive Standy has been, and I think he's just waiting for that. But for now, he's holding mid. They're actually both going to cut through. Try and hit it through the mid pillars, and well, the hit looks like it's working out. Priesta takes down 2. But in mid-map, the fight gets won by Empire. Shotzzy will be able to get into kitchen, but he's going to have a legion of players to deal with in a second. Well, no, they actually end up splitting, so it's just going to be attached here.
Yeah, and from middle of the map, they go right back to A. Shotzzy has the help of Illy from ringside, so now 2 players on it and 2 dead. Looks like 1 player going to maybe just try and, you know, find a kill or 2. Maybe that opens things up. That was accuracy, but he gets taken down. We're going to go back into this defensive hold. Another long one for Minnesota RØKKR.
Yeah, I mean, they had the edge in their first one. I think it was close to like minute 30, minute 40. This time, yeah, you got 2 minutes plus, and you're down in lives. So this is probably going to be one of the harder defensive holds we've seen so far. They do get a couple kills there to bring that life advantage down a bit. Who's all the way pushed up? It'll be accuracy kind of near the apartment. You've got 2 holding mid-map. Attach. Great job there to win a fight. Once again, Standy getting in a position to shoot players in the back. And it resets for a moment for Empire.
Yeah, he just kind of reacts to the push. Knows that Dallas is going on that long flank. Krim was able to take one down, though, so he gets up top bedroom. Now they're just going to go from the front. You do have Hook who's going on the flank towards back kitchen. Going to be able to make the play in time. Doesn't look like it. Shotzzy and Hook going to be down to them for right now, but they get pushed up. Shotzzy, this is just where he just has to play his life. Wait until your ARs can transition and look over you. He does just that. Illy is here now, but Priesta, he takes it to him.
Yeah, I think Priester's just like, all right, well, the help is coming. I got to push this fight. So he just takes it to him. He's actually able to take out Illy as well, but in that time, Krim rotated into position there at Tiki. 50 seconds now to go. Still around a 4 life advantage for Empire. So they've maintained that throughout. Can they find enough kills to bring it? Or can they pause the clock long enough to bring it to a lives matter? Second by second, that lives differential depleting, but well, 2 through with Illy and Shotzzy puts it right back out to 4.
I just don't know if it's going to matter with the time. You know, you're down to 25 seconds. Here we go. They're going to fly on through Shotzzy and Illy.
Three down,
That's going to be 3 dead. Last player is attached. He's going to get picked, and RØKKR, they got to go.
First bit of progress is done. I know Hook's position, that's going to funnel him out, but Hook doing such a good job just staying alive. Accuracy cannot get the angle. 3 are going to drop again. Empire can close it out here, just seconds away from taking this round 4, getting us to a 5th and final round. Empire get it done. They get the 3 down, they get on the point, and they hold, and a couple big moments for them, but man, Hook just staying alive there. Just buying his teammates time.
Yeah, but them just getting 3 kills in a row. What, Illy flew out, he found a pick. Shotzzy flew out, he found another one. No trades coming in for RØKKR. Especially when you don't have lives, it just can't happen. In Illy, I think what we said he was up to 20 last round. Him and Krim put up 17 kills between the 2 of them in that round number 4. So the ARs go huge. They get us to a round 5.
Give Empire and bring it back, rip off 3 straight rounds, and take the control. Who gets a nice win? A progress, move it along as they've got 2 people on the point. There's a wide flank all the way through for attach. He might be able to disrupt this depending on the timing he gets with Shotzzy. It looks like he has leaked through. Attach is looking, he's trying to spot him. There he is. Attach finally gets involved in the action. 2 will drop, he'll get an assist onto the 1. 3 now fall for Empire, and now Attach will get rid of this bit of progress. He did get 2 parts done, and who's that still lurking all the way in the backside? It's going to be Hook, who's gotten into a position at the RØKKR spawn.
Yeah, I mean, with Hook's position, you can see where they spawn up all the way back court, and he's just picking them off one at one time. You know, just trying to just give his teammates as much time as possible today. And again, we get into a situation where there's 1 player left. They do secure the point. They get the final tick, and we do it again. And it is all down to B. Illy with another one with that QBZ, up to 32 kills for him. Here comes a push through Kitchen. Krim, though, trying to win his one-on-one versus accuracy, but actually able to take him down.
Yeah, it's just a story of who can hold for 2 minutes. It's been every single round, basically. Well, they've got 3 players pushed up. Really, it's just going to be on Shotzzy now. They were playing slow and spawn because they know accuracy's gotten pushed up to apartment. Now they all get spawned and they're going to push this out together. How quickly can they eliminate accuracy? Well, his help and Priesta will drop. They should be able to flood him out. He's at least able to take one down before he falls, but that was the first step for Empire.
Yeah, layer by layer, just trying to peel him back. Now you have Attach. His turn to try and make the play. Krim thought he had him. He thought he had him. The wall bangs were connecting, but Attach with the jump shot gives them apartment control for now. Shotzzy trying to play his life, but he's getting shot from so many different angles. The nades are coming in. Almost bought enough time, but at least finds enough time for Illy. It's Illy again. Another multi-kill that allows you to get on the point for at least a second to stop the clock. Gives them a position inside of Tiki, but it's just Illy now by himself.
How long can Illy hold on here? Clock is still moving. 30 seconds now to go. Illy able to help there in the damage. His teammates just keep dropping around him. He's like, boys, they need some help. They're trying to get to him, but they just can't quite get there. Illy can't quite do it. Attach with the finesse, wins another big gunfight. Just over 10 seconds now to go. Empire just sprinting towards the point. Attach, in circles we go. Takes down another 2, will drop. Krim, Shotzzy, the 2 players up here to try and get into position. Somebody's got to touch the point. Shotzzy able to just get in with over a second to play.
Oh, there's no trophy, though. The nade's going to connect. It's Who through the middle of the map, though. Who trying to get on the point, gets taken down. There was no trophy, or they got rid of it. Krim was able to find 2 kills through the front, but Minnesota RØKKR, they buy enough time. They have the map position, the life position, and they hold on in round number 5.
Well, this is starting to look a little bit like the first time they played, even though it was very long ago, and I know a different roster. But, Joe, you want to guess what maps RØKKR won to take it in 5?
2, 3, 5.
Yes, they sure did. They lost both hardpoints, so we'll see if that'll be the same recipe here. But I'm curious also to see if they get some improvements in the hardpoint when we look forward to our map 4. But Standy, what a ludicrous play he had in that one. And they almost let it slip. They're up 2-0 early. Empire, they bring it back. Krim, him and Illy do around 6,500 damage, but look at Standy, 7,000 damage on the board. Illy goes 31 and 40, he's -9, but tell you what, he was putting bullets into people.
Yeah, it's a lot of deaths, though. I mean, compared to his teammates, obviously he's there for the aggression, but maybe that's just something they got to go back and look at. Maybe there's a couple of lives where he could slow things down a bit, but he wants to be the thorn in the side of the opponents. But 40 deaths, that's a lot, but they get the win.
Yeah,
they get the win. It's all that matters.
Yeah, I kind of want to ask you that because you talk about search and destroy and hardpoint at times where, it's difficult for players to continue kind of playing their game, keeping aggressive when they're not necessarily frying, but maybe it's a different conversation in control when you've got 40 deaths on the board compared to your teammates. But Danny, still the highlight play. RØKKR get the victory. They'll look to close it out on the upcoming hardpoint. We'll be right back.
You love to see it. Up 2-1 versus the reigning world champions, Dallas Empire. Brett Blakemore, what just happened?
I'm sweating. This is what just happened. I had to wipe my brow. I take a bunch of water. That was an intense game, and
that was crazy.
Even going into that round 5, I was like, I don't know if I want defense after. I mean, it seemed like such a struggle, especially the defense round before that. The lives are even close. I mean, it doesn't get to be a closer control than what we just saw. Standy, I believe this was the map they had the 4-piece on with the Diamante at the end, through a wall, just absolutely disgusting. And it looks like Preston is finally really starting to heat up and be the Priesta that we expected, that everybody expects, because he can be that nasty.
Yeah, Priesta went off. I think we looked at the scoreboard and it showed that Standy had 7,000 damage, most
That's
in
absurd.
the lobby.
Mhm.
That is.
They got him to bring pressure to the map. That's pressure. 7,000 damage, regardless of KD. That's pressure up the map.
Exactly, and you know, he didn't even. I don't even think he got the most kills on the team. I think there was either 2 of our players ahead of him, but that just—it's like you say, it's him getting in the right spots, applying the pressure, and do. I mean, it came down to so few lives, such a small moment, and that all pays off. So that was crazy. We're going into the raid hardpoint now, which the last time we saw Minnesota RØKKR play raid hardpoint was versus Optic Chicago, and we 100-point clubbed them. Not saying that's what's going to happen here, because this is Dallas Empire's different day. New, you know, who knows? But we're up 2-1 in the series. I feel good about that map 5 search. So even if it goes there, I think that's going to be all right, hopefully. But let's see if the guys can turn it around on Hardpoint. Do you think that they have what it takes to take it to Dallas after watching the Hardpoint on Checkmate?
Well, I think Standy the Mandy is really tit for tat with Shotzzy and Hook. I mean, Hook was absolutely disgusting in that control.
Hook's crazy.
I think something to watch for, especially depends on what spawns they get. But what they did really well, in my opinion, against Optic was have that mid control, especially like for that ring hardpoint, that first point. Standy was just sitting in mid basically the whole game, just making sure they couldn't rotate and try to flip spawns. So I would, if he can have that mid control and put that pressure and kind of keep them funneling into where they want, there's no reason it can't be a win. 100-point club. I hope for it. That'd be great. But
hopefully.
But we'll see. But that is what I would be looking for. But these SMGs on Dallas are the real deal.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. The last time we did play raid hardpoint versus Optic, you know, I really liked how we not only were able to rotate, but then hold. You know, typically we were having problems, you know, even if we rotated, we would get broken pretty quickly. You know, let's see if they can hold right here. Give me some hold door hype in the chat. But anyway, we'll kick you over to the CDL stream, and Brett and I will be back after the raid hardpoint.
Raid hardpoint. But this is a look at the game 1, in which they were able to take. They dominated the second half of that game, and Hook the Nuke, 29-18, 2 minutes in the hardpoint. Mr. Do-It-All, getting it done.
Yeah, getting it done, but really it's the whole squad. Almost everybody with around a minute of hill time. You know, Shotzzy with 27, Illy with 25. It was just a balanced effort from this team. And Raid's a little bit different, though. There's not really 2 halves right on a map like you could have like Checkmate or Garrison, because if you have a really bad half, usually you're down 100 points, 150 points, and they can be really difficult to swing that back in your favor.
No, I think you nailed it too. That doesn't show everything. I mean, if I remember correctly, Hook, you know, he goes plus 11, but he had the least damage on the team. So yeah, it was definitely a super well-balanced effort there from Empire. We'll see if RØKKR can build upon that success they found the last time they were here. Let's continue off with the win on Raid in the last map. You got your eyes on anyone particular on a map like Raid to dominate?
Oh, well, I mean, I look at it maybe like a Priesta and Standy. I mean, Priesta was plus 9 against Optic, Standy was plus 10. And then for the Dallas Empire side, Illy had a great raid control. Can he keep that up on a raid hardpoint?
We get to the battle. Inside a ring. Attached. There are so many nades there. A Crim taking out everybody. Now Standy with just 7 in the clip. A difficult fight there. With Crim set up a ring. Tries to slide out and challenge, but Empire able to get the kills and accrue some of this time while holding that left side of the map.
Now, where's this second push going to come from Minnesota? It's going to try and go through the middle of the map. And now with 25 seconds left, what's the play? You're going to try and give up some of this time. You're going to worry about kitchen control. Looks like they're going to fight for ring. Looks like they're going to fight for ring, but Crim up to 5-0. A man's been playing this map a long time. Make it 6. Can he find the streaks? He can. Crim is beaming. He is up to 7.
Okay, well, maybe all
has
4.
The streaks.
Maybe all 4 in front of him was a little too ambitious. He peeks that corner, the whole team is there, but what a stretch there from Crim. That reminded me of a moment back to his play. He had, what was it, back in Ghost on like Octane, where he just ran through like 8 people, like just holding forward, beaming everybody.
That's really funny, man. That's my team. Thanks, dude.
Oh.
Appreciate it.
I forgot that part of it, Joe. I forgot that part of it. That's on me. That's on me.
Just love tormenting me. I get it. All right.
I'm sorry. But no, seriously, a ridiculous start from Krem, but RØKKR do rebound. A flurry of kills to get control of Kitchen, and they needed it after you give up 50 points in the first Hardpoint. Doesn't get much worse than that, but nice answer there. He's attached now on a streak of his own, almost the 5th, but Hook up to the task. And it's going to be, pretty much a perfect hold at first for Empire, answered by a perfect hold from RØKKR, and then what garage are we going to get? I mean, we've seen just about everything at third.
Yeah, but you can overinvest in this if you're Empire because you have the artillery. You know, Cord is one that you can break with that streak. I mean, really pick your poison on a map like Raid. You probably won't use it at Kitchen or Garage, but the other 3 that are in the wide open, you can go for it. And I think basketball, the maps that we've watched on this, it's probably the biggest money hill that we've really seen where teams earn the most time. So if I'm Empire here, knowing I have that streak in the back pocket, maybe I really overinvest. I'm pushing on this hill and pushing the scrap knowing I have that streak.
A lovely breakdown there, Joe, and it seems like that's what they're going to be doing for now, because they're spawning out deep and still just rallying across, trying to get all of this time. But when the dust settles, it'll be RØKKR. They seem to have control, but look, at least he's still hitting this late. Still hitting it late, probably relying on the streak, as you said, but there comes the trade. Rotating across on one side, you do have accuracy all the way into backside Kitchen. Just trying to influence these spawns as best he can, but Hook able to pick it up. Now let's see where they spawn. So an apartment side spawn for Empire, and 2 rotating out of old for RØKKR.
Accuracy, at least, though, he gets Hook out of Kitchen. That's where you want your subs. Is inside of this, right? You can use that money window. You can cut off both sides of the spawns. So you would have loved having Hook there in that position. The accuracy forced him back. So that's where RØKKR to make the push from. Attach Priesta. They get 2 kills, and okay, the streak's going to come in. Artillery is in. He's going to force him through the back stairs. He deals with Attach, who is on a spree as well. Can he turn this into time? Actually, with this streak, it's not looking too clean. RØKKR with the back close spawn, they get right on the hill.
RØKKR survived the missiles, get in for a moment, but it's Empire surging back on through. Up 40 points. Accuracy and company trying to hit the beams. 15 seconds left to go. If RØKKR can take this, they will win back-to-back matches after starting 0-2. They've been on fire. Let's go to an Astro listen-in with RØKKR.
Nice. They're gonna be water.
Watch out,
I'm coming to look over you. Can you get it?
Top bed.
I'll get time.
I'm saying push out art. Water on me. Water.
Okay.
Water.
Check it water. I have the money
I'm
push.
staying
I've all
He's gonna push it.
I've all
I'm
ring.
pitching.
One's pull
I'm pitching
on me.
footsteps on.
I've all ring.
Zig, I'm dead. Zig and hill. Zig and hill. Zig and hill, hitting hill.
I'm challenging Zig.
Okay, I can
Zig, Illy, I can't challenge.
Dead ring.
One more hill. He's our side hill.
Last guy Zig.
One shot. I
spawn on him Zig.
He got me. There's 2 in Zig. Or 1 Zig, 1 hill.
Alright.
Zig,
I'm left.
he went bottom art.
Okay. I'm dead.
Yeah, okay, you spawn water?
Yeah, I spawn water. I'm gonna flank back. I'm gonna flank laundry.
He's out already. I'm
just gonna come help you guys.
Top ring and pillars.
Laundry steps and pillars.
Oh, yeah, laundry steps and
Okay, I'm gonna hit one of his. Regain.
Nice.
Good job. He's gonna be mid.
Come help you. I'm coming help you.
From Kitch.
Listen, when you get here, you can jump out the window. Jump out the right window, Eli. Come here.
Yeah, longest time.
One Zig on me. Zig to mid and 1 hill. Last guy mid.
Nice.
I'm hanging.
Turn.
55 dead. I'm one shot.
Laundry stairs dead.
One shot laundry.
I got time.
I have top laundry.
They're gonna start flipping behind us now.
Yeah, they're gonna split.
Top laundry. One bullet, Tyler.
2 laundry.
Where are they going?
Laundry.
Is it just me, or did it seem just a little too frantic at times? And then accuracy, kind of said regain. There was like a pause there where everyone took a breath, but then 5 seconds later, it was right back to madness. Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed a little frantic to me.
All 4 guys that were vocal, which I like. You had sort of a small talk between Priesta and Standy, like, hey, Priesta, come to the window, jump out. I can see what you mean. Maybe repeating call-outs a little bit too much. Maybe that's the energy that they're just trying to bring.
Yeah,
but all 4 guys were vocal, and I liked it. I really did, because it just feels like they're playing with a certain energy right now.
That's true. That's another way to look at it for sure. Unfortunately, they're down nearly 80 points, and the kills going the way of Empire. Is there setup inside a Kitchen? Is Hook He's trying to play his life as he's on 4 in a row, but he's getting pinched from both sides. Attached there with a double, takes him down. Can't get the triple though as Krim just keeps on cruising. Oh, almost a snap back to Standy as well, but just efficient trades from Empire. Never giving up the big play. And pushing out this lead to 100.
Yeah, they're in a great spot now. They kind of have this controlled from the middle of the map with 25 seconds left. They're going to keep them spawn back kitchen. You have one player who's kind of pushed up. That's going to be Standy, but they take him down. It's kind of like map 1. There was just a certain point where it was just so much Dallas in the kill feed, right? The trades just not good enough for Minnesota, and now they're at a position where they're trying to fly across the map as quickly as possible, and you're going to run into the ARs who are set up.
Yeah, it seems like for RØKKR, like when things are going well, like when they've got control of their rotation, it goes pretty well. But once they get into, I don't know, like a bad rhythm, and Empire gets on a roll, like at RØKKR, just it's staggered, they're scrambling, they can't really get a foothold in it.
Yeah, that just could be like, you know, trying to figure out how they want to break certain of these hills, or, you know, everyone getting on the same page. But a big break here out of Minnesota RØKKR. You see they find 7 kills in a row to break this setup. Attach is going to make that 8 as a squad. Dallas not over-investing in this. They know they have basketball set up. They don't want to get into a position where they give up that basketball rotation. But honestly, just feels like they're kind of just trapping them in back here. They're making sure that RØKKR don't get out past sort of half that 50-yard line of the map. As Hook set up top ring, Illy set up courtyard. Nice shots with that QBZ.
Yeah, because the only way RØKKR are going to bring this back and win is they somehow have a flawless flip here. Basketball, just 22 points needed for Empire. And really, this stretch of kills is everything. If Empire are going to close it out, Illy, I was going to say, great job getting away, but his own trophy as he tossed it down, enough damage to pick him up, but the flank in from Hook, and just enough bullets, the final one. Going to take down Standy. And it looks like they can close it out here. Everyone flooding from RØKKR. And they get there in time. It's Krim that can put the nail in the coffin. He's going to do just that. Beams from Krim. But they don't get the final tick. So RØKKR, at least for now, just surviving for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit tougher for RØKKR, right? The first time through on basketball, they at least had kitchen control. That time, it was Hook inside a kitchen, and you can see how difficult it is when there's a player in there. They are able to make their way down. Empire now, they just know they need one. So they're going to have a couple of players rotate, maybe a couple of players fight for the scrap time because they just got to be on it for a second. But with Krim going down, they're going to set up at the tree. Well, Illy's going to find a kill, and that should do it as it pops, and we're headed to a map number 5.
There we go, Empire. They get it done in the hard point. The momentum and the passion and the fire all starts with Krim's nutty play. Snap after snap, just drop it all of RØKKR. We'll see it again. It's a thing of beauty and art.
And listen, I'm just going to put it out there. The guy is the most winningest player, you know, out in Call of Duty. Everyone's has like a nightmare that they think about of Krim just destroying their team. And you know, you just had to bring that back up. But I just want to put that out there. It's happened to the best of us, okay? Okay.
Yeah. No, it really has. I don't know why that's where my brain went. It just reminded me, just sprinting through, winning every gunfight. And the Octane one was definitely a bit more ridiculous. I'm sorry that happened to you, Joe. As traumatic as it probably was.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. All right.
That was the first step in ending your career, so you spend the rest of your life with me, though, so I'm good with it.
No, actually it wasn't. That's when I got to drop, you know, study, and then I got a really good team, and I won for a bit.
Hey, at least we got to take a shot at studying all this, and that's what really matters. But look at the stats there and how it broke down. Monster game from Krim. I mean, he does double shots and he's damaged, for God's sake. That's just a wild number as he fries in that map 4. But again, the last time RØKKR beat him, it was through 2-3-5. We now get ready to head to a search. We're going to be going to Express. And both, I know it's very new to the rotation, but both teams have played it. Empire 1-1, 0-1 for Minnesota. Can Empire close this one out and maybe get some revenge from early in the year? But this has been a thrilling and fun series, Joe.
Yeah, it has. I mean, in the Dallas Empire, the one win they have, it was around 11, and I think Krim had 15 or 16 kills on it. So we'll see what adjustments they can make headed into this map 5.
Well, you don't want to miss a map 5. It's the best thing in Call of Duty, and that's what we are headed to next. Tweet the stream. Tell your loved one. It's going to be a glorious occasion Be right back.
Map 5, Search and Destroy, coming up. We did not have what it takes in that hardpoint on Raid, Brett. That was tough to watch. Just, they're world champions. I don't know.
Yeah,
what can you say?
They're
hardpoint's on point.
Yeah, and it some of those old problems I think kind of creeped in. One thing that I kind of know, and I'm no expert, I never say that, I know better than anybody because I don't. But it felt like there was a lot of challenges in around the second rotation of hills. It just felt like we were challenging old in spots when we really didn't need to. There was one, I think there was like a 4 break of an old hill. I think it was on ring with like 10 seconds left. And instead of rotating, with 20, it just seemed like the rotations just were not there the entire game. And there were a couple good breaks with like 20, 25, maybe 15 seconds left, but that's not going to win you a hard point most times.
Yeah, Dallas just had really good map control. So not only did they did spawn on the good side, they only once, I think, kind of relinquished a rotation during that whole entire map. So when you don't have rotation and you're not able to break, like you say, as soon as you want, I think it does cause you to start getting desperate for that scrap time and over-investing in not that much time when you got to be investing in the rotation. I'm no coach. I'm no expert, but that's just my impression. I have been playing Raid Hardpoint since 2013. So yeah, if you don't get the rotate and you're not able to break, on the first time, it's just so tough. So I mean, props to Dallas. They held really good map control that entire time. I think that, may have been Standy's toughest map so far, and it's tough when you're a sub player and the other team is just dominant map control. It's very hard to kind of get in the positions that you need. But none of it, it matters, but, now it all comes down to map 5 Express.
Another game you've played for years.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been playing Express S&D since 23, and people think I'm exaggerating, but I was really still playing Black Ops 2 like even 2 years ago, maybe less. Like, I love that game. I wish the hackers didn't root it. I'd actually probably still play Black Ops 2 all the time if the hackers weren't on there all the time. So yeah, I don't know, man. We got to ice up for Search and Destroy map 5. The boys looked really good on Moscow Search against Empire. We were able to take them out. Accuracy's getting aces. It was just crazy. You saw a really good map on a Priesta on map 2. So I don't know, man. I think it's very possible we can win this S&D, but it's all going to come down to just who can clutch up.
And the good news is that our predictions could both come true at the end of this map here. So I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of the co-streams, but
no.
we could both nail it right now.
You never know. I don't know. I'm not gonna bank on it, but I'm gonna hope for it. Let's see how the map 5 Search and Destroy goes. Let's hope it's not a crazy round 11 stress fest. Brett and I will see you guys after map 5. Enjoy.
Troy, Dallas, they take out Raid. So Minnesota, they're able to win their map pick in Moscow. Now it's Dallas's turn to see if they can do this. And this is just so important for Minnesota RØKKR. We talk about this group, how important it is. They start off 0-2. They're trying to get back to that 2-2, at least give themselves an option to start in that winner's bracket Major 2. But here's a look at that game number 2. You talked about accuracy, a great game from him.
That was a good point you made too. Just because it doesn't show that part of the graphics, there's only so much room on there, but it did. The game 2 was a pick for RØKKR because Empire 1-3 on that particular map for Moscow. This is Empire's pick. They want to go to Express. This is where they want to do battle, so you got to favor them here in the map 5. But this is anyone's game. If we've learned anything over the course of your professional career or my commentating career, sometimes the map 5s, anything can happen, man.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. It just feels like they can either go the distance or it's very one-sided quickly. Sometimes there's a little bit more pressure, and maybe Minnesota kind of knows that, if you want to fight for that top 3, that winner's bracket position, they basically have to win this map. It could come down to this, to them getting into that spot, or at least having a fighting chance. In Dallas Empire, they want to be 3-0. They want to be in the winner's bracket once again.
Yeah, and they'll solidify themselves as a good chance to do that. They can win this, but God, if RØKKR win this series, I can't wait to look at the overall group standings because it's just absurd. It's absolutely absurd. Well, especially we have the final match of the night, depending on how that goes too. Like, it's just going to be madness.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing maybe for Dallas is they have the game 5, they have the round tiebreaker, sorry, the match tiebreaker over Seattle, who would be at 2-1 for them because they won that game 5 round 11. But there you see, 1-1 for Dallas, 0-1 for RØKKR. Dallas Empire starting off on the attack. We watched it yesterday, Maeve. It was a lot of B hits. Comes down to those retakes because how easily it is to rotate for the defensive team between both sites. We'll see what Dallas want to do on this first round.
Yeah, no, it literally was just a bloodbath at Ticket Booth over and over again, it felt like. And let's get to the bloodbath again. It's a 4-man hit right towards B. The opening duel is so massively important, and Attach able to get that first one. Now can Empire get through on the trades as Attach repositions? Nice snap there. He was focused left, but able to bring it back, and RØKKR win the round in 7.8 seconds. They just go for it. Yeah, I mean, Attach gets the first blood, but he also has the help from Standy. Look, Standy goes right down the middle. He's flanking Ticket Booth. Even if Hook goes down there, or sorry, Attach goes down there, you know, he has the quick trade. Maybe things get a little bit messy, but ooh, look at the sliver of health. No, and that win was nuts because you saw he was like sliding, canceling out to like look left. And that's just a recentering there to win that fight. That was impressive stuff from Attach. Big round from him to kick things off. Now let's see what their focus is going to be on offense, and it looks like they're going to go for a big A hit here, which yeah, we didn't see a lot of yesterday. Yeah, but looks like Dallas is ready for this. So you're going to have Crim sort of playing info over there. You have Shotzi inside a catwalk, maybe Illy and Hook. We're thinking about just hitting early flank, but now they're going to be inside of this RØKKR area. How many kills can they get? There's the first trade. Do they know Illy's position? He's just going to play this close corner. Watch out for number 5. That's accuracy, working a late flank, though, all the way through with that sub. They might not be ready for this. Usually, if there's a flank, it's through catwalk. He's going to spot Crim. Crim, no. Ooh, almost reads it. Illy, though, he's been lurking as well. Puts it into a 2 versus 2 with 45 seconds to go. Jotzi gives them the numbers. 2v1 now. It's all going to be on Attach, who had that massive first round. That's on your own face there, buddy. Get out of harm's way. Okay, we'll redo that one. He did that on Raid, too. Get a little close to that wall. It'll stick to it. And Attach. Make the play. He's had some wild search and destroy plays in his career. I just think of him running through the artillery back in Call of Duty World War II, but they're going to surge on forward, catch him on the plant. Perfect timing there for Empire, and Shotzi with some key kills down the stretch. Yeah, Shotzi able to get that trade on accuracy, but yeah, Illy was the guy that you sort of pointed out. He was lurking that whole time. They knew Hook was there because he was able to get traded right away, but they weren't exactly sure. Sometimes we've seen teams just send one very fast on the flank. They don't know where Illy's at. Illy's able to catch Priest in the middle of the train. That forces the 1 versus 2. Good discipline right there out of Dallas. Able to tie it up 1-1. Yeah, it's you what kind of accuracy lurking on one side, Illy on the other. Both of them had to make plays. They both did, but Shotzi big in the 2 versus 2. As he gets the 2 final kills, and they're going to go right back to it. Yeah, right back to it. Here comes the hit. Can Attach be the hero yet again? Or who's going to get this first blood? Nope, they were ready for Attach this time, and Shotzi putting them on skates. 2 more for Shotzi. 3 in the round. 5 in a row as Shotzi lights up Express. Ooh. My man got crisscrossed right here. Shotzi is staying alive, switches up the route. Right, left, right. See you later, brother. That's like a crossover in the NBA. Like, accuracy's ankles were left somewhere on Express. Just snapped. And that's the confidence, though, right? And obviously, round 1's a little different. You don't have trophies now. Maybe they feel a little bit more confident this offense. But Shotzi 5 in a row now, finds 3 that round, and switches up his route, right? They know attaches to go right back to that spot. He flanks him. Here we go. Dallas Empire, they sent 4 to B. They know nobody's there. It's going to be an A plant pretty quickly for RØKKR. It's going to come down to this retake. They won't go A again. Yeah, we do. They're taking their time clearing it out, but they should have a plant. But they better get this down soon because the flood of Empire is coming and accuracy is going to get caught watching mid. I'm going down, though. Can they hold on to the 3 versus 4? Map's just flipped. Nazi pretty close to streaks. Nice pick from Attach. You got some information on the other side if you're Priestess. They're going to double chow now as Standy gets the kill from a 3v4 to a 3v2. Beautiful stuff here from RØKKR. one by one. Empire is falling. They all drop, and RØKKR, man down, get a big round win.
Yeah, it's a little weird, right, from Empire, because you have 4 on the flank, right? The map just completely flipped. It was like Empire was on the attack. And then Shotzzy and Hook just kind of stopped, and they were waiting for Illy and Krim to work a flank. They're trying to basically sandwich them. But in between that time, you had Hook and Shotzzy get into a fight. And because there's no trades, the numbers aren't there. It comes down to a 3v2, and there's only so much time on the clock, and RØKKR are like, all right, they must be coming from the other side. A big round win down a man.
Well, Empire are going to switch it up this time. Let me go over to the A side of it, and nobody really close near the site. It looks like we should have a skirmish soon. On the back side of it, we will. There, Standy gets the kill, and Tatch in the action as well. Early 4 versus 2 for RØKKR.
Yeah, accuracy was down low. He's kind of peeking that lane up to the offensive spawn, and Krim's on that strong, heady position. Tash is just waiting for the comm. He gets it, pops out, all down to Illy now. I'm going to take down 1, but still so much work to do.
Not going to happen. Attach once again up top in the window. Quality. Eames from Attach. 3-2 to RØKKR. You see some nice wall bangs there in the mid-train from accuracy, but yeah, you saw the mini-map, like I saw the skirmish is going to go down soon because you see like the arrows like stacked on top of each other. You said the call out comes in, they get the picks. It's Standy and Attach that opens stuff up. Now we've seen, yeah, it's just been A out of RØKKR. They're right back to it. And I think Empire League, eventually they're going to go B. They are not, but they will have one guy here. It's going to be who? And he should be the hell out of harm's way. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, he's just going to back up. You do have a one-on-one on the opposite side of the map. Accuracy, though, he's in a better position. Shotzzy doesn't check it. There's the first blood. Shotzzy trying to work the pick. Now you can take your time a little bit. Still a minute. You have up top control, and Empire, they feel the pressure. They do not want the bomb to go down, or they're trying to catch them on the bomb, so they get a little bit aggressive behind a couple of nades. Maybe try to catch one on the bomb plant. There goes the trophy. Attach sliding out, trying to bait for his teammates. On the other side, it's Hook. Yeah, it's Hook.
Yeah, he's pushing all the way through. What timing are you going to get on the other side? It looks like they both put some shots on each other. Hook's just going to send it. That's a big kill. That's going to turn some heads on the other side of it. Hook puts into a 3 versus 3. Attach just gets away with a sliver of health. Excellent job getting out of there. 30 seconds to go. Illy, the next man up. Big gunfight win for him, but time is dwindling. Hook up top to hip fire. Hits Standy. Now on the newcomer in a 1 versus 3. Krim's on the defuse. Standy's got to go for the check, but Illy is ready and waiting, and it's a 3v4 win for Empire after, well, RØKKR just did it on the other side.
Yeah, it's just down to Hook. Hook on the flank. He finds accuracy, but then he actually pulls Standy. Standy leaves up top that control room, and he goes and tries to get the trade. And that allows the openings for the teammates of Dallas Empire to work their way on up towards the bomb. And then Hook somehow makes his way back through middle of the tracks without Standy spawning him. So they have the 3 versus 2. They have the number advantage over there, and then it just leaves Standy by himself. And well, Dallas Empire, it's worked. They're going for it, but this time Shotzzy gets first blooded, and this is going to be maybe another quick round for RØKKR.
Yeah. That's another. Okay, well, next round, we'll just keep moving on. I mean, before you were done wrapping up last round, it's done.
Yeah, no, I'm trying quick, you know? I'm trying. Usually I got like 5 to 10 seconds. I don't on this one. I was like, man, go.
Yeah, that one flew through. I was about to say, like, RØKKR, I mean, if they lose this, that's a round's going to hurt. It's a lot, I think, worse, when you have bomb planted, you're in a 4v3. It's a lot different than, like a 3v4 hold post plant. Like, the fact they threw that one away, it's got to be painful, but they answer back so fast. In the blink of an eye, we're into round 8. And RØKKR on the board. Attach having a lovely game at 7-4. A bunch of big gunfight wins for him. The bomb still playing deep.
Yeah, is this a fake from RØKKR? They put the trophy on A, but bomb's working catwalk stairs. Standy, Krim is there. And he's going to take him down. That's huge. Krim only 1 kill on the map. Going to be the bomb planter as well. Now just going to play this low elevator, just try to get some information. You cannot shoot through this. You are stuck if you're Krim. And well, never mind. Okay, accuracy, he gets taken down.
I take it back.
Lied. I just lied. I didn't think you could. You couldn't 7 years ago, I don't think. I don't remember, though.
You're going back in the day. But yeah, memory's difficult, Joe. It's a very tricky thing. But attach that 1 versus 2.
Maybe you could shoot out of it, but not into it? I don't know, dude. I don't remember. Never mind.
We're at the Fire Up Black Ops 2 and check it out.
Yeah. Someone will probably tweet me and call me an idiot, but that's fine. I accept.
No, I'm the idiot of this duo. We know that. Empire, they get the round win, and as you said, Krim had 1 kill going into that, and they try to sell the fake. Krim doesn't bite. Standy, I don't know if he had to chow that like he did with Bomb. Fact is, he does. Krim wins it. And it's a huge one there for Empire.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to see him work maybe with accuracy a little bit better, the way they're lurking that. They're trying to draw a rotation towards A, and they have it, but they basically know they have a 2-on-1, but they don't wait for each other. That communication, maybe Standy overzealous a little bit in that role. I mean, of course, if he wins the 1-on-1, he looks fantastic. He's the hero. They plant the bomb, and they have the man advantage, but that doesn't happen.
Or 4. If Krim continue off of that big round. Lurking is going to be Illy. But pushing all the way up the flank is accuracy, and he's able to get the kill. Accuracy gets a big one. Able to stay up. Oh, just for a moment, because Illy wraps back around. 3 versus 2 to RØKKR. A bomb all the way back in spawn. Krim thought he could get out, but Priesta quality shots there, and another one falls. RØKKR. Every time it seems like they lose a round, that might be frustrating. They answer back quickly, the dominant one.
Yeah, I mean, it's Standy lurking up middle of the tracks. He gets into the train, and he's able to win the 1-on-1. And Shotzzy is trying to go trade that kill, but of course he's checking it. He doesn't expect accuracy to be in that position already, that far pushed up. Just taking map control away for Empire, really working inside of the trains, the middle of the tracks. There's a lot of different, sort of sneaky routes that you can take on this map. They show it right there.
Right back to A. Go RØKKR. Empire. All the focus on B, but it's a very fast rotation out. Can they stop this plant? They line up a bit for Priesta, but they have that block to work with. Some tags in, but not finishing anything, as Krim's trying to find the angle from this back catwalk. Priesta, though, able to stay up. The bomb gets planted now. Got to work the defuse in this 4 versus 4. The opening blood. So massive here for either side. It's Priesta that gets it.
And it's basically a 4v3 for Empire because accuracy is on the flank. But accuracy is able to connect. Priesta with that first blood. RØKKR, they 1, 2, 3, 5 earlier in the year. RØKKR, they do it again. And what a week for RØKKR. They start off 0-2, but they take down Optics Chicago. They take down Dallas Empire 2-2 against 2 of their toughest opponents in the group, and they are right back into the mix with Standy stepping up.
Absolutely unbelievable stuff from RØKKR. Optic and Empire, and this team change is looking insane. And I don't think a lot of us are super surprised. Like, yes, to beat these 2 teams is wild, but the beginning of the year we have our podcast, and Crowder, Teep, you and myself, like, even before the team change, we really thought RØKKR was going to be like a top 4 squad with maybe a chance to upset somebody and win an event. And we thought they were probably the biggest surprise this year so far with how bad they were performing based on our expectations. And they make this change, and suddenly they're hanging with the big dogs, beating the big dogs. And it's awesome to see, if you're a fan of the league, just improvement from teams, and it's getting even more competitive.
Yeah, but again, I think one of their focal points is still going to have to be in that hard point. They lose both here. They got to get that better. It's got to be right around 50-50. You cannot always guarantee search and destroy wins against the best teams in the world. Faith. But yeah, I mean, a big map 5 win here. They step up. Some great rounds from the entire team. I mean, but everybody involved in this map victory. 8 kills from accuracy, 8 kills from attach. Standy involved, Priesta with 6. And yeah, they don't really go to B. They go to A. They take all their fights over there.
Yeah, just a lot different than what we expected just based on what we saw yesterday. But let's check out the scuff play of the game. It's going to be RØKKR closing this one out in the 10th round. The first blood was big. It was Priesthood that gets the pick, but we'll watch how the madness kind of ensues after that. And like dominoes, one by one, Empire fall.
Yeah, and you can see, right, accuracy is all the way across at the catwalk. He's basically on an island, so that allows Empire to work a 4v3 on the bomb. But you know, you give up this bomb plan, it can be difficult to retake that control room. There's a lot of different angles to check, right? Low locker rooms up top. You have the middle of the train that the Dallas Empire are trying to work, but accuracy he's able to take down until it comes down to grim. Well, Minnesota RØKKR with the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, now it's just sort of a how good can they get, man? If the hardpoint gets better, how much of a threat is this team going to be? But congrats, Standy. Welcome to the league, making plays and getting back-to-back dubs for RØKKR. But after this, to break it all down before we head into our final match of the week, we'll kick it back to the desk after this quick break.
Let's freaking go!
Let's go!
We beat the world champs, Blakemore.
We got their number, man. We got it.
We do. I mean, geez, old lineup with Major Maniac, new lineup with Standy. I mean, not gonna lie, it was really close. You hate to.
Oh yeah, we're sweating for sure. But
man, I feel like though, even if we would have lost that round 10 right there, I do believe that we had the life event. Well, I guess if we got smoked round 10, it might not have gone that way. But I think we would have even had defense in the round 11, which was clearly looking nice for us. But oh my God, give me some hype in the chat.
Yeah.
We love to see that.
That was insane. It was nice to see. One of the things that people asked, including myself, people asked about with the roster change was we know how good Major is at search and destroy. How is this new roster going to work out in search and destroy and 2 for 2, 3 for 3, if you include the optic one? They look solid as ever with Standy running the bomb. They even threw a fake in there at one point, which was wild.
I like that.
2 people pushed A and made it look like an A push while Standy stayed at B. They looked like a well-oiled machine in search for sure.
Dude, they're looking really good. I mean, in those first couple rounds, you know, Dallas was playing that B site really, really fast. It was a little scary. Like, it's just a little messy. But oh my gosh, we're able to pull away there at the end. I guess that's all you could ask for. Go to A, get control of lockers. Let's freaking go.
Yeah, and that last round, I mean, it literally looked like an old Western, showdown because it was 4 alive, bomb was down. I don't know how they got that bomb down, by the way. And everyone knew exactly where everyone was, and it just came down to that gun skill. And it just seemed like they were hopping from each Dallas perspective, and one by one, they just got taken down. Man, that gets your blood pumping. I need to calm down. I need to take a drink or something.
Yes, I need to go take a drink of water, relax, breathe. There's still, looking at the stage now. Brett, shout out Brett Diamond. Shout out to all the Bretts in this chat. We got Brett Blakemore on screen here, and then we got Brett Diamond talking tiebreakers in our Discord. Now it's a little messy because there's still quite a few matches to play, but it looks like we can get second in the group if we beat Seattle next week. Optic wins tonight because obviously we lost to Florida, and then if Florida loses to either Dallas or Paris, which I'm bad at math, so I don't really know how that works. But hopefully some of those things happen so we can get into the winners bracket. In case you guys don't know how the format actually works, so there's a stage with the matches that we're watching now. It's group matches. And then there's we're in stage 2, so there's going to be a stage 2 majors. And so what we're playing for right now is good seeding for that major. If we get, bottom 3, we end up in the lower bracket and we can't lose anything then. If we get upper 3 or top 3 in the group, we can afford to lose 1 match in the upper bracket. So what we just said, I guess, that's for us to be second in the group. If Optic loses to Florida tonight, it all gets very messy and sets up a potential 3-way tie for second. There's too many unknowns there. We can get first in the group, according to Brett Diamond. We'll see. If we beat Seattle, possible. Optic wins tonight versus Florida. likely. Dallas loses to Florida and Chicago. Ooh, that seems unlikely, but you never know.
Yeah.
And then Florida loses to Paris, plus losing to Optic tonight, which that could happen.
There's a lot of situations here.
Okay, yeah, that's her first and second. What do we got to do to get third, Brett Diamond? Do we know that yet? Hopefully, man, it's tough because we did lose those the Paris and Florida match like 0-3. That's what's going to sting if you're in a tiebreaker. But the fact we're able to turn it around, go 3-0 versus Optic, 3-2 versus Dallas. You know, if we end up tied with one of those teams, we win that head-to-head. So it's going to be, I don't know, there's still a lot of Call of Duty to play, so still hard to say. But, man, we could end up in the upper bracket, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, if you would have asked me last week, are we in the conversation to be in winners, I would have said absolutely not. And I'm so happy that we're even having this conversation.
Yes.
Even just saying, how can we get first in the group? Well, this has to happen. We can get first in the group, you know, so it's just the night and day transformation this team's had is so exciting, you know? Or I feel like there's a tiebreaker. Are you trying to digest what the...
I'm reading the chat, and I'm reading what Brett's saying. We need Optic to beat Florida. I mean, you know me, I was on Optic for 9 years, so unless the Optic's going against us, I want them to win, baby. Let's go.
It's hard for me to cheer for any team that has Chicago in the name, but I'll try my best. But
that's definitely valid.
If they renamed like Optic Frisco, then, you know, we can talk.
Then maybe it'll be more in line. You'd be like, okay, yeah, sure, I want them to win.
So
yeah, I mean, at this point, honestly, all you can control is what you can control.
Yeah.
So we got to try to let's kick it over to the interview with Priesta. Sorry, guys, it snuck up on me. Check out the interview with Priesta and Lottie. Oh, it's coming up? It's not on yet. All right. Cool. We could still chat. Sorry, they just started showing Preston on screen talking, so never mind. It's
they
not
faked
on
us
yet.
out too because he was
They
talking
faked us out
too.
hard.
Yeah.
They faked us out hard. It said interview. He was talking. There's you never know till you know. But yeah, I mean, it's all you can do is just do what you can, right? And what we can do is try to win. So Surge has been looking better, but let's, you know,
really good.
We could still technically control our own destiny if we make sure we win that match. And then, you know, if the chips fall where they may, all right. But either way, regardless, like let's say just worst case scenario, regardless what happens, lower bracket, upper bracket, whatever, this team has markedly improved in Priesta moving over to playing more AR than he would before in that flex role. And just Standy, I stand Standy, holy cow. What
Standy the Mandy. Yeah,
Standy
I'm going to keep saying it until eventually it catches on.
It'll catch up.
Do you think this one was more impressive than the Optic one?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say this one,
it's tough.
I take that back. That is tough. It's tough to say. Here's why. Number one, Optic has and I can say this because I was a part of the team for 9 years, Optic has a tendency to sometimes come out and just, they're cold, they're flat, they can't wake up. And that's what you see sometimes. They'll get 3-0 or 3-1 randomly almost. Like, I bet today they're going to, well, I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully they beat Florida. Not
it helps us,
for our sake. But sometimes they look good and bad, but with Dallas, they are pretty consistently good, and we've been pretty consistently so far 2-0 against them, able to beat them. So that's good. Oh man, I can't breathe. All right, I'm gonna kick it over to the CDL feed so we make sure we don't miss that interview with Priesta. Hopefully we'll be able to get some more intel on how to get top 3 and get into the upper bracket where you wanna be. And yeah, let's go. Let's kick it to the interview.
P-Dog of Minnesota RØKKR, my friend, welcome, congratulations. What a series that was.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, right on, man. Okay, so I actually made the great mistake of asking Twitter what questions they want to ask you, so I'm probably going to skip most of those, but I wanted to ask you about role changes in the team. Obviously, everyone's looking great right now. We saw accuracy with the submachine quite a lot today. You've been running ARs recently. Can you give me a little bit of an overview of what the role changes have meant for the squad?
Yeah, the role change was huge for us. Just getting Standy on our team, just kind of like matches our pacing. We actually, in our 2 hardpoints against Dallas, our pacing was a little bit off. We were kind of playing a little bit fast, so that's definitely something we're going to have to work on. Like, before it was like we're playing too slow, but now sometimes we're playing a little bit too fast, including myself. I was just taking chows. But yeah, the addition of Standy and me switching to an AR is really helping us right now.
Yeah, you look a lot more comfortable in almost every game mode. Obviously, Search and Destroy is still a big win for you, and like your checkmates, they look great as well. So, I mean, is there anything major in the team that, like, obviously Standy is a brand newcomer now to the professional Call of Duty world? Like, what's it like having him on the team? We're giving him a lot of love on social media.
Yeah, I mean, having him on the team's huge. One thing that I didn't really know about him, he's very smart with the game. So, like, when he came on the team, he was like, yo, I like to do this. Like, my team was doing this, doing that. And, like, we kind of adjusted off of what he likes because our hardpoint hasn't been that good. So, like, adding him just helps in general, even with, like, respawn or just, like, control or S&D or whatever. Like, he's been helping out a ton, and he is disgusting. Like, the clip on the screen right now, like, he 4-pieced him like that. We were all watching that, like, dude, you're a demon. Like, you're insane, man. So, he's a great addition for sure.
Right on, man. Well, so at the start of this, I said that I asked Twitter what questions they would want me to ask you, and some of the responses were disgusting and ridiculous. But I'm just going to ask you this one. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
One horse-sized duck? Dude, I don't know. One horse-sized duck? No, that's a big duck, though.
That's got a big bill.
Probably
Yeah,
the other
that'd be
way.
dangerous.
Probably the other one.
Yeah, 100 duck-sized horses. Yeah,
that's a lot of horses, though, so I don't know.
Only small, though, but still, that'd be one hell of a fight. Priester, thank you so much, brother. This has been our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Dude, thank you so much again. Congratulations.
No problem. Appreciate it.
Well, that was certainly one of the stranger interviews we've done here in the show, but we hope you enjoyed it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be that for our series. We still have one more to go today. When we come back after the break, it's Maven and Muck, and it's more Call of Duty League action. See you.
Welcome to the Minnesota RØKKR co-stream where we just beat Dallas 3-2. It feels good to say. I just had to like re-intro and say that. Brett Blakemore, it's your first time on the co-stream. We get a big win. You got your jersey. You just got it. So dang.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I was jealous of Halvey when he got his V1 Rocket League stream. So I'm happy that I got him back. I get to text him later today, saying you know what's up. So what a perfect game to make the co-stream debut, though. I mean, that was probably the most entertaining. I mean, obviously, I love 3-0ing Optic. I mean, I can't stand Optic. But, sorry, Ash. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Let me rephrase. I can't stand some of Optic's fans. How about that? But they can
fair.
be...
There's a lot of them, and they can sometimes be toxic.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Well, yeah, Scump's Twitter the other night was... just a wasteland. So, but anyways, what my point was is that as much as I enjoyed that, this was the most entertaining game I think of the season so far. I mean, it's right up there with the last Dallas match that we had. So, they showed a lot of resiliency. Obviously, the Hardpoint still. I think the old problems crept in. It wasn't, the Hardpoint against Optic was surgical. I mean, the rotations was there every single time. The slang was there, cutting off the maps, and it just wasn't there today. But they still managed to make the adjustments and kind of pull through.
Yeah, you love to see it. I mean, I thought more about it, during the interview a little bit. Like, what was more impressive, the Optic win or the Dallas win? And I said, Optic can come out a little flat sometimes, but then. So that would basically make the Dallas win more impressive. But I'm going to take it back. This was very impressive. It's a big deal. But I'd argue coming in 06 in groups on your rookie debut from Standy, dropping a 1.52. The team looked great behind him and beating, some of the most prolific players in Call of Duty history on the most prolific Call of Duty franchise in history in Optic Chicago. That's pretty dang impressive. That's one that like people are going to talk about that like next month or next stage. Be like, dude, when RØKKR 3-0 or when Standy debuted at RØKKR 3-0 Optic, that was crazy. Like, people probably aren't going to remember this Dallas match as much. It is very relevant right now for our stage and our seeding, but I would say, that's the more memorable one. But this one was more like team-to-team skill set impressive. Like the guys, I think you're right in saying that in Hardpoint, some of those old issues like not rotating properly or being able to rotate properly and then not being able to make the breaks as frequently as we need to. That was the reason we smoked Optic on that Hardpoint race, because we always had rotation and we never let them break, and so if you're on the other end of that, it's definitely not as fun.
Yeah, but I will say it is incredibly impressive that not only, Lightning struck twice today, because the last upset, no one was expecting RØKKR to compete with Empire. Then and that was before, kind of the downtrodden, the 0-3s to Toronto and Paris and Florida. So even then, no one was expecting RØKKR to compete with Empire, beat them then in a 3-2 as well. But then today, even after Optic, it's still Empire. These are world champions, and it's in a revenge game too. You know how fired up people can get for revenge games, and still RØKKR managed to pull through in the Search and Destroys, which, again, I thought, along with a lot of people, that maybe Search takes a hit with the roster change. It appears that is still strong as ever, and that's something that Brian and Jacob said, that all 4 people are making calls. It's not just Mike that's making play calls in Search anymore, and it's showing because they look like a unit in Search.
I just love them hitting A over and over again. And I do love,
they stuck to their guns.
And even when they weren't, so there was one round where Standy was like in the middle stairs by Ticket, and Lamar was down by the kiosk or whatever, the down low part of B.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 other people were still at A, so they thought like, okay, and Merck commented on it like Standy made a challenge and he didn't really need to, which I think is true. But also, like, if he does win that gunfight, and he gets that bomb planted, that's the sickest fake of all time. I guess the correct play in that scenario is he does play closer with accuracy, and then if Sandy goes down, accuracy can trade, and then Dallas is probably not able to rotate by the time the bomb gets down, and yada yada. It would have been kind of a crazy round. So it doesn't even end up really mattering truly, because they do end up pulling out the dub in that search. The Search and Destroys looked great. Hardpoint looking still not great, but hey, like, we hung in there more than we were before, and I do think that, the upside and the ceiling that Standy brings to this team, and with Priesthood going into that flex role where he's more of an AR more of the time, that's going to be what really elevates this team. So let's talk unofficial point standings. Brett Diamond did a great job in the Discord, and I'm honestly getting a little confused. But the most important one to me, obviously you want as high as you can get. You want 1st seed, 2nd seed, and if you got to take the 3rd seed, fine. Let's get into the upper bracket. How we get in the upper bracket from here. Unofficial, not on the CDL, but Brett has double checked and he's really good at math, so I'm going to trust it. If we get top 3 if Optic Chicago wins right now versus Florida, and I don't even know if map count matters there. It doesn't. And then if we beat Seattle next week, I think it's Saturday. Let me double check the day. It's Saturday at 3:30. So yeah, if we beat Seattle next weekend and Optic wins the match right now, we in that upper bracket, baby. We're here to play. We're from 0-2 to upper bracket. You never know.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here. Man, I'm exhausted after that. My voice is leaving. I was screaming into my Astros the whole time. You heard it. I'm
Can
sorry.
confirm.
Ken, yes.
We're going to need to replace the headset,
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching the co-stream. And Brett Blakemore, thank you so much for coming on the co-stream today. Icon is on spring break. He did DM me, after the match, said, oh my God, let's freaking go. So he's hyped. But I really appreciate you stepping on to the program here. Icon will be back next week because he's done being on spring break then. But like I said, appreciate you coming on. Check out the RØKKR podcast. It's on iTunes. It's on wherever, Spotify, anywhere you can listen. Big shout outs to KFAN. I love KFAN, local sports radio here in Minnesota. Man, love KFAN. Thank you so much again for coming on. I'm down to come on RØKKR. I feel bad that I don't feel bad, but I'm taking Standy first, but then I'm down to come on RØKKR again.
Yeah, well, you can bring Standy with you, and we'll just have a big kumbaya.
There you go.
No, anytime. Anytime you need me, I'll step in. So it was really fun.
Great. Yeah, no, I had fun too. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We'll see you on Saturday, April 3rd at 3:30 Central right here. It'll either be at 3:30 Central or just as the match before ours is concluding on the CDL broadcast. So we'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and we'll catch you then.